travel north to take the Vikings on. Like always, folks, we start out our week with sit down with Coach Casey Moeller, and we'll go to that, and then we'll be back with our Swanton pregame show.
LC Tiger Sports Live, welcome in Coach Casey Moeller. 7-0, ranked number 3 AP in Division 5, and really coming off a beyond impressive performance against Patrick Henry, our arch rival, for your 5th win in a row in the series. The thing that I looked at before the game was that obviously Nash Meyer, he did not play in this game, and I think that was a very significant thing for Patrick Henry. But, gosh, I didn't know they were 36-23 against us, and I didn't know that, I guess I was a coach in those years, but, man, Coach had reeled off 9 in a row there from about 2002 to 15. So PH has really kind of had our number, but you've turned the tide. You got our 5th in a row, but I think the game was shocking in the fact that we really took care of a very good football team in a manner in which I don't think anybody expected. Talk a little bit about, as you looked at that and you stepped back from that, what were your takeaways from Liberty Center Patrick Henry?
Well, I don't think anybody even on the staff thought that we were going to win by that margin. We obviously believe we could win and we can play really well, but what we did Friday was very surprising in a good way. I think that's the best game we've played from start to finish all year and in all 3 phases of the game. So what we have to do now is build on that and continue to play at that level and not go backwards. And that was one of the things we've talked about since that game is this can't be our best game of the year. We've got to continue to get better. But I thought our guys came out and really were focused all week, focused during the game, and just went out and executed everything we asked and played really, really well at a high level.
Yeah. Well, at a high level, I would say yes. And even the guys that were, second, third on the depth chart gave you great effort. So forgive me for not revisiting some of the things early in the season, but I think it's just really important to put in context and how you're handling penalties and some discipline and some different things that I don't think that the greater football community really understands, because you're just not a loud guy and you keep things in house and you do things in a very professional manner. But I saw a few things. It got chippy, and I think there was obviously frustration on Patrick Henry's part. I think they picked up 2 or 3 15-yard penalties. The minute our players may be engaged in a little bit of some of that, just because you're in that game and it gets edgy, these players are being taken out. They're being coached. Some may not see the field again. And I think it's important when we talk about the hitting and some of these different things, when one of our players crosses the line, you have drawn a line, and you're teaching and coaching and trying to, not take that out of the game, but trying to put it in a proper perspective. And there were a couple players who didn't see the field again after a penalty or two. Talk a little bit about, in broad sense, when you have such a physical team that really wants to scrap and get after it, yet trying to continue to keep them within the context of a game, all the things you're doing to help them with that.
Well, it can be a challenge because we do play a physical brand of football.
You play a hyper physical brand of football.
And when we coach, we're going to play until the whistle. And games get competitive and emotional, and sometimes you get to the edge there and you cross that line, and at some point you got to learn from those mistakes, and we're trying to teach kids where that line is that we can't cross, and I guess you would say we take kind of a progressive approach to discipline. Obviously, if you have a penalty of some kind or do something that we don't want you doing, we're going to talk to you about it, make sure it doesn't happen again. If it happens again, you're going to lose a little bit of playing time, and then, we can start adding on from there. And that's kind of where we're at a little bit. I think the message has been sent.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't think that you're never going to have a penalty again. We don't teach holding, but we get holding penalties and things like that. But so a lot of times I think it's just to being overly aggressive with effort, but we want to coach great effort. We want to be physical, but obviously we want to be physical in the confines of the rules of the game. And, we've just kind of crossed that line a couple times, and nothing egregious, most of the time. But, you see it on film when you're watching other teams too, that, this stuff goes on. It's part of the game. It happens at every level.
Well, we're not the only program that does
No.
that,
But, like we've gotten to the point where, we said, if we continue to do this, you're going to lose playing time, because one of the luxuries we have is we have a 68-man roster. We've got other guys that can play and that are chomping at the bit to get on the field. So, you're either going to toe the line and not hurt our team with penalties and things like that, or somebody else is going to play, and they're going to play at a high level because, we've got depth and we just having more numbers, you've got more able bodies. But at the same time, we talk about these penalties are going to hurt us down the road. When you get in a big game and you get a 15-yard penalty or a 10-yard penalty or whatever it is, you're hurting the team, not yourself. You're not hurting me. You're hurting your teammates, and putting us in a position where we're not going to be as successful as what we could be.
Well, and to button that up, I think it's really important because this is a good juncture of the season to reflect back on certain things that had happened and how you dealt with it. I just don't think the general football community sees like this linear pattern of discipline. It is a penalty. It is a discipline situation in game. It is a taking out of a game. It is a post-game discipline. It is a Saturday morning discipline. It is a Tuesday run you're into the ground discipline, and a lot of nurturing and coaching. So there's a lot of things happening to recondition the mindset after is it a late hit? Is it a blindside block? Is it something you don't like to see in a game? I just don't think people give enough of that weight to know that you're dealing with this consistently, and I think we've really grown as a team with those penalties, and now we're starting to see other teams have those frustrations where we didn't have that in the first half against Pete, so we've really grown there.
Yeah, and I think we're not out there advertising what we're doing. We're not going to go out and say,
right.
Hey, here's what we did. We take care of it in-house. People are emotional and they want to go on social media and tell us what we should do and things like that. But the reality is, if you want to do those things, go be a football coach and you can implement whatever discipline policy you want. We're doing one that we think is right for our program and right for kids. I don't think you want to, just write off kids ever. So, you try to teach them and let them learn and grow, and hopefully we're doing the right thing. And sometimes you don't know whether you're doing the right thing until after the fact. So when that happens, you just continue to learn and grow and go to that next step and see if we can correct those things.
Well, anybody that's watching this program, obviously you knew coming into this season you had a group of hombres and dudes that really wanted to get after it, and you've had to strategize as to how to channel that in a productive way. And I just think, listen, I've coached you and I've coached with you. You're a pretty intellectual guy. This is not a thing that you talk about in practice to go goon and go be this way. You're coaching and teaching all the time. You like the intellectual side of this game. So culturally, that's where we're heading, and that's why we have a lot of high IQ players. With that being said, you've got an Evergreen team this week. Obviously they've had their struggles. They've shown signs. They've got some returning skilled guys. They can threaten us in certain aspects of this game. Obviously, coaching continuity at Evergreen has always been a problem for one reason or the next. I think their last winning record was in 2010 when Todd Teakin was there, and the Teakins have had success there historically, his father as well. Talk about what you're seeing in this Evergreen team and some of the things that concern you, maybe offensively first.
Well, overall, if you watch the film, Evergreen plays hard.
They do.
They get after it. They're very young, and they've been bitten by the injury bug. They lost a starting quarterback. They have a defensive lineman who is, an all-league player that's out. They have a receiver who is kind of a D1 caliber type player. He's about 6'3", 6'4", state qualifier in
Riley
track.
Dunbar.
Yeah, and really the last 2 years has hurt us, and he's kind of been dinged a little bit the last couple of weeks. So they present some problems, and like I said, they make up for a lot of stuff that maybe they don't have with a lot of effort. And you see that on defense. They run the ball well. Offensively, they'll be as physical as what they can. I think their youth hurts them a little bit. Their inexperience, and then their numbers aren't great, so they don't have a ton of depth. So they're battling through that. But that's a team that if we don't come out and play well and start taking care of business and allow them to hang around, they're going to gain confidence and they're going to turn it into a dogfight. So that's something we really have to protect against. and both offensively and defensively, they're aggressive. I read an article in the paper after they played Bryan. Bryan's coach said, they were blitzing 2-3 guys at times.
For sure.
And then you turn the film on, and they're coming, and they come hard, and they're willing to take chances and make big plays on defense. To generate turnovers and things like that, get you behind the sticks. And then offensively, kind of the same deal. They're aggressive on offense, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to try to be successful.
Well, the first-year head coach, Barry Bach, has been around. He's coached a while, and he's had a number of different jobs. Coached a lot in Michigan, came from the Northview staff, and he talked about effort. He talked about when we restart the culture of the program, it comes with effort, and it comes with high energy and all these things. You see that. It shows up right away. Mm-hmm. So Evergreen does some things, and I think this head coach really wants that. And, anytime you're a first-year head coach, you want to talk about something and see the results on the field, and Evergreen is trying to do that. And minimally, obviously, we're a dominant offensive team in the run game, but you know how blitzing. Last year against Otsego, they really blitzed us in certain ways that really stymied our run game. Do you have concerns that Evergreen and some of their risk-taking and some of that blitzing could be problematic for us in our run game?
Absolutely. In the preseason, he talked about defensively what they wanted to do, and it was all about getting athletes to run to the football, and they do that, and they're aggressive in their blitzing. It can confuse blocking. It's hard to really get out and get downhill in your blocking because you got to really pay attention. Is this guy coming to my inside gap? Is he coming to my outside gap with a blitzer coming inside? So you got to really be on your toes, and if you make a mistake, it turns into a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, negative play.
Yeah,
tackle for loss.
We've worked hard on blitz pickup from day one because we know that's what teams are going to do if you can establish a run game. But Evergreen can do some things that's going to confuse you, and we've got to be very disciplined and very patient offensively.
I want you to talk about the way this team, every team has its personality. You've had a lot of great teams so far in your young tenure. I mean, it took Rex Lindgren a few years to have some great teams. You've had great teams right away. A lot of film study, a lot of talking to the football community, a lot of talking with your staff, a lot of which I got a chance to coach with and coach. But when I look at the film, Casey, and you're not one to brag and boast. I mean, you're 7-0, you're number 3 AP in Division 5, so you got a great football team here. And you had a great one last year. It just seems to me that for whatever reason, the games that we're playing and the big games, the Archbolds, the PHs, some of these games, it just feels to me that our hitting has just been such an advantage. Some years it's a great quarterback, and some years it's a great offensive line. I think we're having a lot of these things meshed together where we're getting really good quarterback play. Our offensive line has been A+. Your coaching staff has been on point on defensive game planning and making adjustments. But this team really plays physical, and they play physical defensively, and they play physical offensively. And I just don't feel like a lot of teams have a lot of interest in engaging to that level of physicality. And I don't mean to overstate that, because there have been teams at Liberty Center have been more skilled-oriented, a little bit more intellectual. This team here brings together some high IQ and just a ton of physicality. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think part of that is, the philosophy of our program is we're going to run the ball and be physical. And defensively, we're going to run to the ball, and we're going to be physical defensively as well. And then you look at the kids, and it's just kind of the nature of some of these kids that they want to be physical. And then, you get a couple of them that do that, and they have success. And then younger kids see that, and they emulate that and say, okay, this is how we have to do things. And that, we see it this year, but I feel like we've been trying to establish that for a couple of years, and now we're seeing it develop a little bit more and more. Because we can go back all the way back to 2018 when somebody like C.J. Johnson is playing offensive line, and he would just maul people, and it wasn't good enough just to make the block. He was going to pile drive you, and then so guys see that and said, okay, this is the standard. And we've just kind of been building on that little by little. It hasn't been something that happened overnight. And then, so you build that, and then I think the way we practice, we're competitive. We do some competitive things to get those competitive juices going, and that breeds that kind of mentality. And really early in the season, we try to really, you can be a little bit more physical. You're not playing games yet. And then we kind of back off as the season goes on, but we've already established that mentality and what we expect and what we want, so that it holds true throughout the year, as opposed to, you get to week 7 and we got a game, we got to be physical this week. Well, if you haven't done it up to that point,
right,
it's not going to happen. You might come out physical for the first drive, but you won't sustain it for the game. So we really try to establish that. Even hitting pads, we want to hit the pads as hard as we can. We're going to drive sleds, and really try to establish that downhill, be physical culture. And quite frankly, I think we're very old school in how we teach blocking. We'll still shoulder block when, I think 95% of football in the world is going to hand block and do some zone stuff. We want to gap scheme and block down and kick out. So it's a little bit different than what a lot of teams are doing, and they may not used to that. So football's very cyclical, and it'll probably come back around where, more teams are under center running stuff someday. But right now we're kind of in a spot where, that's not the reality, and so we're different, and teams aren't ready for that.
Well, certainly the downfield blocking makes our run game a home run opportunity all the time. I love our coverage teams, the physicality, the discipline, lane discipline, and the coverage teams, punt and kickoff, have been fabulous. The hitting there has been great, and the overall hitting. This team is just really, it's a different type of team. It's not a home run hitting team through the air. We do have great running backs, but not a dominant running back. It looks the same, but it's so different sometimes, and I think that's what I'm seeing,
Yeah, we've had to work really hard on a lot of those things. You think of special teams, you just throw guys out there, but we've had to kind of find the right mix and the right spots for some of these guys, because we did have some struggles early about staying in lanes and
for
being
sure.
disciplined.
Yeah.
So we've had to work really hard on that. The downfield blocking, we've really started to work on that more than we ever have, and
it's showing up.
We drill that. You can't just go out there and hit, because a lot of those blocks can take a long time, especially if you're a wide receiver out on the perimeter and you engage a defender. It's going to be a few seconds before the back gets there, so you might hit a guy and then stop, and okay, now the back is there and we can tackle. So we got to really work on engaging, keeping a hat on a hat for as long as possible, allowing the back to kind of set up those blocks at times. And it's been something that has evolved over the years. We haven't always done that.
Right.
And so, we're starting to see the fruits of that labor right now.
Well, certainly at 7-0 and your current ranking, and it looks as though you're well on your way to another league title, but as you always say, there's a bigger bear looming somewhere, so you've got to stay prepared and stay in focus as team's doing that. Coach, you've done a great job this season into a game where we think we can be in control, but historically, Evergreen's been a little bit of a problem, that trip, and we just feel a little complacent after some of these big games. So I've seen it as a coach. I know you've seen it, so I hope the team is focused, but we wish you a great amount of luck this week to try to get your 8th win.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you go. You have the Coach Casey Mollett with Scott Barrett and the review of last week's big Patrick Henry win and the upcoming game here from Pfeiffer Field, the Evergreen Vikings. I'm your host, Mark the Captain Bly, and on the call tonight, Mr. Spike Whitman and Brian Jigs Babcock. Guys, I don't want to say this is going to could be a trap game, but, we talked about that with Coach Moeller about, is there going to be some complacency? Is there going to be whatever? And I'll tell you what, guys, and you can certainly take it from here, but this is nothing more than another business trip for Coach Moeller and his staff, and they take care of business, and that's how they're approaching this.
Well, Captain, you said a mouthful. You encapsulated the nuance of what Liberty Center Tiger football is all about, especially under Coach Moeller's regime. A great groundwork was set with Rex when he came in and kind of resurrected the program. And Casey and his intact staff have been able to build from that and have even reached greater heights, if that's a possibility. Jigs, how would you compare? You had some pretty fine football teams in that first half of the 2000s. How do you compare? Is it pretty similar to what it is now?
Yeah, I mean, we had some pretty good teams. My freshman, sophomore year, we had a couple losses. I think probably 3 losses my freshman year and 3 or 4 my sophomore year. Junior and senior year, we kind of turned it on a little bit. I don't think we had the depth that this team has currently. I think the line is probably better than when I was playing, and just all around athletically, this team is pretty stacked.
You say this line is better. Would you say they're bigger, stronger, faster? Would you say they're more disciplined? Would you say they're smarter? What do you relate to that? Because obviously this offensive line is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I think the bigger, faster, stronger for sure. I mean, we got some big fellas up front, and they play with a nasty streak. They're not just big, but they play nasty. And they drill nasty, and they practice nasty, and that's what you're seeing on the field, dominating every single week, offensively and defensive line. Defensively, that allows your linebackers to flow. That allows your secondary to run free. Offensively, gives your backs big holes to get down the field before contact, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, and that's where the Cruz brothers are most dominant when they're past that line of scrimmage, looking for those cutbacks in big lanes. So that's what our offensive, defensive line are doing right now.
Yeah, and there you hit on a great point with the Cruz brothers. We've had great running backs in Liberty Center for the last 75 years and beyond.
Yep.
But these two guys have that special thing. They're very tough. You are not going to bring them down with just an arm tackle. But their ability to cut after that 5 or 6 yards is some of the best stuff I have ever seen out of Liberty Center running backs. And I mean, I'm remembering back to the mid-'60s, when I was still in junior high, and these guys, oh, man. A guy named John Patrick ran for 85 yards. Barry Kern scored 2 touchdowns over 60. And it don't get no better than this, and there's a whole slew and slug of others. You could go on. Troy Westhoven stands out as a butt burner. This kid he carried the ball on average his senior year close to 40 times a game.
Over and over again, didn't he?
Yeah, but these guys, and again, it's not just the ability of the Cruz boys, it's the downfield blocking. It is fantastic.
Yeah, and the depth, too. I mean, we're seeing Waylon Rentz in the backfield. You see Thomas Muller. You see Xander Zeider. These guys are getting some time, but they don't get much time because the Cruz brothers are so dominant. You can't afford to take them off the field right now. But there is depth in there as well.
Right.
There are new guys coming in.
Oh, some of these guys. Wow.
Grades.
Let's see. It was Ty Jackson got in the game late.
Heck of a run.
And ran about 125 yards to score a 60-yard touchdown. But that kid had balance, he had moves, he had determination, and there's a whole stable of these guys coming. So you look at a different part, and every part is integral to the performance of the next part.
That's right.
And the next part. The defensive backs can afford to play a little looser and a little better, if that's possible, because of that front seven.
Yep.
The Cruz boys and Waylon Rentz at linebacker. These guys, the tackles. Trent Cruz is way out ahead.
Yep.
He's got 47 tackles, and the next closest guy, let's see, we've got, wrong page. Spike, let's get to that.
I was just real quick on the Cruz brothers last week there, Spike. I replayed the film back. Really love how the defensive staff is moving them to around. They're moving them sometimes to the outside, almost like a defensive end type. Not always blitzing, but they can blitz from the outside, but using their quickness to be able to get in the backfield. And they did that a lot last week, and they were very effective on it.
Well, and that just stands to reason. You don't always want to show every trick in your book. But on the other hand, the more that you give other teams to look at is how can we stop that? Because they can do this, and more.
Yep.
And it's amazing at how everything just coagulates like hard rock blood,
Hey, I'm going to jump in here real quick, guys. If you're out there watching, our camera, some reason, is dark. We're working on it. We'll hopefully have it corrected here before game time. If not, we'll switch cameras.
Another thing to talk about, Spike, the depth. We've been talking about the depth. Not only just it shows on Friday nights, but in the practice field as well. That is such a huge thing. You're talking about a guy like Ty Jackson had a run last week. Well, guess what? That guy's playing scout team against our starting defense, right?
Yeah,
And you get these guys that are really good football players that our number ones get to rep against in practice every single day, and that makes a big difference.
Oh, and they've played a lot, in the second half. These guys on the second unit, it just keeps coming. All right, Liberty Center now out onto the field. They've got white jerseys with black pants, and the Evergreen Vikings are dressed in all green with the yellow lettering and numbers. Okay, we've talked some about the team, and we could go into a lot more depth. Let's look at the playoff picture. Liberty Center percentage or computer points is 3.5 points ahead of the second place team in our Division 18 or number 18 in Division 5. That is very impressive to have a 3.5 point lead above everybody. Now, as we look at the field, number 2 through number 8, that's 7 teams are only separated by 1.5 points. So anything and anybody could emerge out of there and get set up for a possible run.
Sure.
Now, Liberty, of course, will likely. They've got tough ones with Wauseon coming, and then you got Delta at the end.
And Delta,
so we still have to take care of business. But the points, we'll match up with second place in points, spot 15 or spot 16, and those teams will probably be losing records, I should say.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, you go down through about 8 or 9, and those are decent football teams.
Absolutely.
We can't take anything for granted.
No, and you got to continue to challenge yourself, continue to test yourself, and you look at Evergreen here tonight, and obviously their record is not great. They've lost a quarterback early in the season. They've had some injuries. They got a pretty good defensive line, but you always have to be ready, especially coming over here to Evergreen. Traditionally, it's a tough place to play, so got to be ready at all times.
Okay, getting ready here for the presenting of the colors and the national anthem.
Okay, guys, and if you're out there listening, we love technology, but we did figure out what's going on with the camera, and we're going to break here for the national anthem.
And now, in honor of our nation, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, at the playing of our national anthem by the Evergreen Marching Band. Field, the home of the Evergreen Vikings. Guys, I think
we'll see what's going to happen here in the first few minutes of this game. I think Liberty Center has been on the steam train, and they're Spike. You've been in practices and whatever, and there really hasn't been any let up from these Tigers.
Probably the most impressive thing about this team that I've observed on the side, at practice when it's they're not out in the spotlight. These guys hang together. They have a good time, but they're very intense. The seniors are truly leaders, and the coaches will not relent. They push them to get better. And these guys respond.
You started seeing that a lot last year, Spike, and the teams that we were supposed to beat and beat badly, we did.
Yes.
And there was no let up. There was no teams that we were letting stay in the game due to how Liberty was playing. The teams they were supposed to beat, they were beating bad, and the same thing is happening this year. Expect the same thing.
Liberty did win the toss, and we deferred, so we will kick off and have the ball in the second half here.
All right, Max Walker kicks off. He is averaging 56 yards a kickoff. That's down to the 4-yard line. But I'll tell you, that guy is one of the best kickers I have seen in a long, long time. He sends half of his kicks well into the end zone. Here we go. High boomer. Oh, baby, that's into the end zone about 3 or 4 yards deep. And right away, how important is that?
Yeah, it's just demoralizing for an offense when you have to start at your 20 every single time. I mean, you look at that and you're going to drive 80 yards.
Yes.
I mean, every single time that we kick the ball off. So impressive, and something that we've not always had at Liberty Center. The last several years here, our kicking game has really improved, and it's an advantage of 10, 15, 20 yards a lot of times, Spike.
Guys, it's talked about as a weapon.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we have to punt. Okay, we're all right.
Yeah.
All
Field
right.
position's
we'll
huge.
Get the defensive people as we have a chance here. They come out with a double wide out to the wide side. Single over here, handoff up the middle, and a little bit of running room out across the 20, out to the 22 maybe.
Couple of things to note here, Spike. Evergreen lost their starting quarterback, senior, first game of the year, Hunter Vakulik. He was kind of a dual threat guy, could run it, throw it, kind of made this offense go. Lost him. They got a sophomore in now that is coming along, but I think they're going to look to run the ball early and often tonight because they're not very effective throwing the ball.
All right, trip receivers. Wingback set. Now a keeper tries to run a little quarterback draw. Nothing there, and he's going to lose about 3 yards on the play. Bachman was there. Colton Cruz
Seth
was
Navarre,
in on that.
I believe, in there as well. And I think Liberty Center Liberty Center coaches know that as well, that they're not that effective throwing the football. So we're okay manning up on the outsides and barreling in on this run game and stuffing that, and it's a good start right there for Liberty Center.
All right, passing situation. Thomas Moeller into the game now as an extra defensive back. Quarterback out of the gun. Straight drop, looks, throws, lofts it up there high, and it's going to be short and incomplete. The wind is blowing hard across the field into the quarterback's face. And
it impacted that throw for sure.
That made a big difference.
That was a good job by Grady Miller. There was right on that receiver, no room. Even a good thrown ball there wouldn't have mattered. Grady would have been in position to knock that away. Good job.
Captain, you're into pink. The pink is out here tonight. What is the occasion?
That's for cancer awareness.
I see. All right, back to punt. Almost blocked. That's going to be grabbed right there at the 47-yard line. Spins through one and pounds down to the 30-yard line. I believe that was Cam Colley.
That was a great job by Cam there. Once again, the wind played a factor on that kick. Cam coming up on the run was able to catch that and get some positive yards out of it. That ball hits, and it probably could have rolled another 15, 20 yards.
You guys just talked about the wind. The weather all of a sudden is taking a drastic change. It's supposed to drop 10 degrees here, and I think it's the wind's blowing in Liberty Center's direction now.
All right.
The temperature's dropping.
Wing right set, tight end right. They're going to give off that right up the middle. Running room pounding through there. And bounds it. Holy moly, down to the 13-yard line.
Big hole in the dive play there,
17
Spike.
yards. Wow.
It's a good start there for the offense. Evergreen's defense, D-line they're actually pretty good. They got a couple players that are, you can see they're pretty big players.
That's perfect.
Linebackers flow pretty well. So up front, Evergreen's pretty solid.
All right, Liberty Center with wide outs to the far side. One over here, single setback. Amstutz rolling right, looks upfield, tosses it out in the flats, and that'll go incomplete. Ouch.
Pretty good throw there by Landon Amstutz, just nice and calm and patient. I was wondering, if we would look to get the pass game going a little bit more tonight. Teams have been very effective throwing the ball against Evergreen. They got a very young secondary. I think 2 freshmen in the secondary, another sophomore as a corner. So it'll be interesting to see if Liberty dials the pass up a little bit more tonight, work on some things.
All right, Talent wide out to the left. Here's a give off left side, looking for room, pounding forward and down to about the 10-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. That'll make it 3rd down and 4 yards. Waiting for the scoreboard here to get, 4 yards to go, 3rd down. Ball on the 12 of Evergreen.
Tackle by number 58, Grant Richardson. He's kind of one to watch. He's their best D lineman. They'll move him around. He was backside of that play and still was able to make that tackle.
All right, wing left, tight end right now in motion this way. They're going to give it on a little tight end sweep, pounding inside his Cruz, down to the 5-yard line. That's enough Spike. To move the chains.
Good solid run there.
They had showed Colton Chambers spread out the opposite side in the slot with a wide out, and then they run a little, kind of a reverse.
Yeah, kind of looked like it.
Yeah, a little bit of a misdirection sort of thing. All right, now the Tigers come out. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Amstutz under center. Double wing set, now man in motion. They're going to give it. No, play action. Lofted out there.
Nice
Grabbed
play.
at the 10. Looking for running room. Colton Cruz bangs his way. He's into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. Boy, and Colton didn't do it the easy way. He ran over one and zagged and banged another guy on his glory trip to the end zone.
Really nice play design there, Spike. They had Colton on the one wing, rolled him in motion, kind of faked it out there. They had a tight end and a wing, just a little flare out to Colton, made one move, touchdown.
Wow.
Landon Amstutz just continues to make some of these throws, although they're short, they're not always the easiest throws to make. And he doesn't mess. He really doesn't mess up. Yep. He doesn't turn the ball over. Makes really solid decisions and solid throw. Perfect example right there. Great throw.
Yeah. Now, he's only quarterbacked 6 out of our previous 7 games, but he has completed 27 out of 41, and to take that down, he's completing 5 out of every 7 of his passes a game. That is effective. He's completing passes at a 66 percentage rate. And he's solid. He's a leader. He's got coolness. He's got the fluidity.
And he just doesn't turn it over.
Right.
That is such a big
Spike,
difference.
I am getting. I got a text message. Me being a Tennessee guy.
Oh no!
The Tamarine families in Gatlinburg, they're all sitting drinking, I'm sure, Diet Pepsis.
Yes.
And watching the game tonight. So
yeah, leave the Mountain Dew alone.
I got to. hey, y'all. That's what you get in Tennessee. Hey, y'all.
Hi to the Tamarines and the pit crew gang. I'm sure. Watching tonight, Grandma Jean Kern.
And Kent Dog. Can't forget Kent Dog.
Yeah, Kent Dog.
Kent Dog.
Yeah, he's the Liberty Center GOAT fan.
Yes, he is. We had the ball knocked off the tee there. We haven't seen yet a win like that yet this year.
Well, he might be able to kick a field goal through the uprights here.
Right.
And the boomer, that's going to sail into the corner.
Jeez.
Oh, that was about 5 yards deep.
Wow. This kickoff team, they fly down the field. They got to be getting mad sometimes. Like, man, I want to hit somebody, right? You got the youngest Cruz brother just coming down ready to smack somebody. He doesn't get a chance all the time.
Yeah,
They're kicking out the end of the end zone so often.
They're not getting their hits.
Tyler Lay coming down, wanting to lay the wood on somebody. What does Scott call him? The Pocket Hercules? Is that
Pocket Hercules.
Like the Ronco-matic fishing.
Yeah.
They unfold it and it catches everything.
All right, shifting around. Xander Zeiter, number 33, defensive end over there. Gives second back to it. No! Pow! Boy, that Liberty Center defensive line caved in.
Xander Zeiter and Colton Cruz on that one.
Then the weather is turning quick here, folks. We might have to
we got
shut the window here.
Pom-poms flying and papers flying. I don't think there's going to have a lot of success on the ground tonight against Liberty Center, Spike.
No.
I don't see it happening.
All right, second down and 11. Out of the gun, motion coming this way. Now sets up as the wing on this side. Long count. Keeps it
Xander.
on
well, guys,
a little quarterback draw.
What a great play by Xander Zeiter. I know, Jigs, you saw that. He waited. He stood, sealed off the edge, waited to see where the ball was, and collapsed immediately.
It was a good job. Stayed home. I don't know if they were trying to go backside there from him. It looked like he was kind of unblocked, but yeah, good job of staying home, turning it back inside, and going to make a tackle. Yeah, passing is going to be tough, guys, because Evergreen's going into this heavy wind right now.
Trip receivers to the far side, single setback. Quarterback out of the pistol.
Oh, my goodness. Whoa. They even chipped him. I think they had an offensive lineman on him, tried chipping him with the back, and he just destroyed both of them.
He tackled all three of them.
They had the Saccarino Spike. Holy cow. That guy's a handful, to say the least.
That guy, he looked like Hulk Hogan out there.
He gets another one. He gets another one for that.
Saccarino! A little boots punt. That's going to roll way short. Only gets out to about the just beyond the 20-yard line.
Well, and right now, guys, it's probably about a 35-mile-an-hour wind he's punting into. That is just treacherous out there right now.
Not a great start for Evergreen. Certainly not. You give Liberty Center 2 short fields here, and they've been very effective on punching those home here this year.
I do want to say thank you, and I mean a whole heartfelt thank you to the Evergreen Vikings athletic director for putting us inside the booth today.
All right, Tigers come out, show trip receivers to this side over here, the Tiger side. Amstutz out of the gun, has time. He'll throw the home run ball. It's a battle out there.
Wind got that.
And incomplete. No flag.
The wind got that one.
Yeah, that was he had 3 routes there. Evergreen did a pretty good job of covering all 3 of them up, and he decided to kind of throw the fade up there to Mr. Cruz, and it was incomplete. Not a bad ball there. Gave him a chance.
Yeah.
Wind played a factor.
Well, those are a lower percentage pass, but
yes.
Boy, if you rake in the dividends, you can go to the bank and cash your check in the morning. Okay. Again, out of the gun, single setback, double tight end. He'll give it to Cruz.
Nice
cuts
job.
around, now back in the other way. Still going. Changed directions, took a big knee dip, but then ground in and powered forward for 3 or 4 yards.
Some of that Evergreen defensive line, Spike, I mean, they're solid. I mean, I've watched quite a few of their games. They fly around. They're solid. They got a big fella right in the middle there, kind of the run stopper, and then they got a couple athletes on the outside. So,
yeah, you're right. This just isn't anybody's defense out there. Now the Tigers show a double wing set, motion going right with Cruz. Hand back coming around. A lot of running room there. Kicks it down the side or down the middle. Pounds and nobody's got him. Into the end zone. Colton Chambers on a little wing?
Inside reverse there, I believe.
Wow.
Yes, a little wing reverse.
Boy, they had me digging for the football, and here they gave it to Chambers.
Evergreen had about 9 guys in the box right there, Spike, and to be able to run that with 9 guys in the box, pretty impressive. Great blocking up front, and Colton had a good move to get into the end zone there.
Kind of like the way they used to line up back in 1944. Kick on the way by Ian Rosebrock, up and good. Right now, Ian Rosebrock, 44 out of 48 on the season. That quick math tells me that's about 93%. And, folks, it just don't get much better than that either.
That's another example, Spike. It just there are no holes on this team offensively, defensively, and the special teams. I mean, to be able to count that extra point is so important. When you get into some big games where these scores are going to tighten up some, those extra points can be so important. So Ian Rose,
yeah,
good
especially
job
down at the end of the game where if you've not converted on a couple or you're a go for two type team, you might end up holding the short end of the stick if you're a little loosey-goosey with that.
Good job by Ian. I mean, just another special teams weapon that we have.
Now, the wind is gusting hard. The American flag is at full furl, and it is whipping. So, Liberty Center, 5.5 minutes to go. They lead it 14-0. A lot of quick underclassmen on that kickoff team. High kick comes down
that hit the back line there.
It did? Wow.
It hit the back line. Did not go through the field goal there, but it was close.
His yards per kickoff just average keeps going up. All right, now Liberty will be out on defense. Let's try to highlight that. The defensive front three, Xander Zeider outside, Seth Navarre, number 70, on the other outside. Landon Bachman will line up as nose tackle. Also, you've got Noah Jensen, Goose Giesecke, and Spangler, number 74, who will see a lot of action. Handoff. And that's going to go nowhere. Oh, man. The Tigers swarm to the ball, and it's another minus yardage play.
Yeah, Thomas Muller, great job there, staying home, reading that with it for a tackle for loss. You know, sometimes, you don't read your keys and you get your eyes in the backfield and you don't stay home. Well, Thomas did there and said, well, stay home, make a good tackle for loss.
Staying in your lanes, that is one thing the Tiger coaching staff has preached vehemently.
Do your job, right?
Yes, do your job. Now another loss.
Waylon Rentz.
Wow.
I don't know if he was on a blitz there or what, but he just came and just blew that play up. My goodness, if you're Evergreen right now, got to kind of look at the playbook. I'm not sure what you're calling. You can't really pass the ball with this wind, and the run game is not happening. We might have negative yardage on the ground right now for Evergreen.
Yeah. Second loss on this series. 3rd down and 18. Ball all the way back at their own 12.
We got some rain falling pretty heavy now too.
Ooh.
And we've got some movement with the camera because we've got press box moving. So that wind is probably 30, 40 miles an hour.
Whipping.
All right, double wide out to either side. Back to throws. Got time. Lofts it up there.
Oh, yeah.
Picked off.
Landon Cruz.
Landon, was it? Yep, Landon Cruz picked it off at the 35-yard line.
That's the risk with the pass game into this wind there, Spike. These balls are floating. They're fluttering up there. And Landon Cruz, good job to stop on a dime. Make a nice solid catch for the interception.
Guys, one of the things, and Spike, you and I go back doing this since Fred Flintstone was running the camera. I've always said, when you get into the latter part of the season, if you can't run the ball in October, November, you get into games like this. Now, you start throwing in inclement weather, you start throwing in cold. You have got to be able to run the ball.
That's right.
Yep. All right, Tigers shift into a wing left set. Play action. Back to throw. Got a man out there. Caught down there around the 25-yard line. That is Trent Cruz.
Yep.
Trent Cruz out of the backfield.
Looked like a little black out of the backfield there. Great fakes there, Landon Amstutz. I kind of thought he gave that up there. He pauses really nice on those fakes to the backs there, and almost pauses a second, kind of give that like he gave the ball up and pulled it. Nice little pass.
Amstutz under center, double wing, now in motion. They fake it, give it right up the middle to Cruz, breaks off one, grabbed by another one, pounds ahead and down inside the 20-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st and 10.
3-4 guys take that guy down, broke a couple tackles. Good hard run there by Trenton. Come to expect that out of him.
Just quickly, some receiving stats. This is how effective the Liberty Center passing game is. Cruz averages 16 yards a catch. Colton Chambers, 16. Colton Cruz averages 18. Trent Cruz averages 17. Jackson Bartels averages 16 yards a catch.
Nice little pop pass there to Bainfeld. He kind of faked to Colton Cruz there, froze defense, and just a little pop pass from the tight end. Nice little design play. Like what Liberty Center is doing with the pass game here, Spike, just working some of these plays in. We'll probably get down the road where we're going to need the pass game where it's going to have to be efficient, and it's definitely been efficient tonight.
Tigers showing a lot of new looks here. All right, Amstutz out of the gun. Handoff left side, now inside reverse. Chambers picks it up, cuts another way, went back to the left and pounds his way into the end zone.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see how he got that. My goodness.
Wow, what a great, it was that second handoff.
Jeez,
inside reverse to Chambers, and he cut on a dime and turned it back into the Glory Land end zone.
Wow. Well, the talk of Liberty Center not being ready and maybe sleepwalking a little bit is not happening tonight. We're dialing the scoreboard up early and often. It's going to be 21-0 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter here. That is some sideways rain right now.
Now, is Spangler the set snapper here? I believe. All right, good snap. Hold good. Kick up and good again. Wow. Ian Rosebrock just keeps on rolling along. I want to mention Amstutz. Not this one, but the last one. The snap was low. He dug that literally out of the dirt, got it set up, and Ian drove it through. So, again, Amstutz doing a terrific job of leading, and the Tiger ball team on. Wow. 2:13 left here in the first quarter, and the Tigers on top, 21-0.
We got some guys in the sidelines jumping around a little bit. I see the freshman down there, no sleeves on, trying to get a little active, Spike, get the blood flowing. The temperatures are dropping out there tonight.
Yeah, and when you make the first adjustment to colder, damp, windy temperatures, it's tough.
Oh, it'll shock you for sure.
Yeah.
I think Evergreen's a little shocked so far. You know, they knew kind of what they were getting into tonight with the Liberty Center team, and it
tell you what, Jiggs, with that wind blowing, I'll give you 5-1 odds on a Snicker bar. He puts it in the end zone again.
I don't know. I'm going to take you up on that bet, Spike. I'm with you.
All right. Here's his approach. Lays into it high, and that's going to come down at the 2. Fumble picked up. Looks for a return straight ahead. He got mauled. Wow.
Stephen Brogan.
The final haymaker, Brogan piled. Wow.
Tyler Lay, I think, on that hit as well. I'm not sure who got him first there, but my goodness. We have seen some explosions on this kickoff team, and it's like every week. Multiple times.
Yes.
I would not want to be a return man against Liberty Center right now.
All right.
My goodness.
Evergreen with perhaps their best field position. They've got it on their 16-yard line, 1st and 10.
It's a race to the football in that kickoff team.
Wow. 2:05 left here, first quarter. Out of the gun. They bring it right up the middle, and what a surge by the defense.
Brogan.
Brogan
in there
again
as well.
leading the way. Multiple Tiger tacklers. I mean, you might as well get your shopping list out if you want to get everybody's name on this.
Hunter Spangler, I believe, was in on that as well. Listen, Liberty Center is pinning their ears back, and they are playing run, and it's showing. I think Evergreen's got negative rushing yards so far, and there is nothing going on up front.
All right, Tigers defense shifts over. Linebackers move over to this other side. Now man in motion. They call it out. They try to cut it back up the middle on a little misdirection. And
Waylon Rentz,
maybe
Cruz.
a yard. That's going to be about it.
these
Rents.
linebackers just continue to just fly around and make plays. I mean, they just continue to rotate Stephen Brogan, Waylon Rents, and the Cruz brothers reading keys and sniffing out plays. They do such a great job.
Yeah,
and it's
matter of
impressive to
fact,
watch.
Waylon Rents second on the team in total tackles.
If you're watching us, the scoreboard camera is wet, so we're trying to do the best we can with it.
On 3rd and 12, they tried a little screen, and that was behind the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Good job there by Seth Navarre to get his hands up into the passing lane, making that completion a little tougher. And Cam Colley was all over that in case he did catch it. But Evergreen, they don't have a lot of options on offense right now going into this win. They really cannot throw the ball down the field effectively. They're ready to get this quarter out of here and maybe get the win at their back.
Wow. All right. High punt, and that is wind blown short, and that's going to die out there around the 30-yard line. You know what? I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to face Liberty's defense and this wind blowing in my face.
That's
I think
a big
I'd rather
disadvantage.
try to handle a stick of dynamite.
Yeah, you don't give you a lot of options offensively with the conditions. And, Evergreen, they've struggled to throw the ball anyways coming into this game. I think, they would rather run it. Then, obviously, 3rd and long, you got to throw it, and then you're throwing in this wind's not a positive thing.
All right, Aiden Talent and Cruz is the receivers out there now. They're going to give. No, Amstut's caught, and he'll be slammed down way back nearly to the 45-yard line. They blitzed and caught the Tigers.
Sacked by Lane Vance there. Not sure. It looked like I'm not sure where Vance came from there, but they kind of had a fake to the running back, and it looked like Amstutz was getting ready to roll out, and he was right in his face. Not sure what happened up front there.
Yeah, there was some extra packaging going on, some kind of a stunt. But that'll end the first quarter, but Liberty Center in control solidly with superior field position. They lead it 21-0.
Hey, and while we've got a break in the action, these sponsors make these kind of games, make all of our broadcasts possible. KK Collision, the leader in the automotive repair industry, been servicing the Northwest Ohio and Liberty Center area for 27 years. Meyer Badenhop Insurance since 1933. Northwest Ohio's been the home of the Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency. STN Design, your home for custom screen printing and embroidery. The Affinity IT Group, cybersecurity and managed services for all your company's computer needs. 3-Chord, sign it, sew it, screen it, promote it. Davis Farm Services, a family-owned agronomy business serving Northwest Ohio farmers from Liberty Center for over 50 years, and Delta. They've got a facility in Delta. Swanton Welding, they've been providing their customers with the highest quality metal fabrication since 1956. Payment Dick Leatherman, longtime supporter of the Tiger Sports Live effort. Pizzanello's Pizza, right uptown Liberty Center. And last but not least, the Gerald Green Center is the farmer-owned cooperative with 9 locations in Northwest Ohio, one in right downtown Liberty Center.
Hold that advertising thought here. I got a question. All right, wing right set. Now motion Cruz. They'll hand off to Cruz. Heading around the left. Now cuts it up against the grain. He's grabbed. Breaks one tackle. Now breaks another. Still churning and driving. Pounding down inside the 15, or down inside the 20-yard line. Wow.
You don't want to call that tackle too early.
No, never.
Tough run.
Hey, give me that sign it, seal it, deliver it. I want to hear that.
Sign it, sew it, screen it, promote it.
Ah, boy, that's
Hey, Oak Harbor, Genoa, big game tonight. Oak Harbor leads Genoa 7-0 after one period.
Yeah, definitely Oak Harbor and Genoa, 2 teams in that in our district at
3 and 4
region. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely factors in this thing. All right, Amstutz under center, wing right set. Give to the second back. Dances and prances, still going. Pounds through a tackle and grills himself down to about the 15. Gain of 8.
Good run there by Trenton. Had a pretty big hole. Got about 5 yards there before he got touched, and they just continue to run so hard, these Cruz brothers, and
And
it's
his
a fun thing to watch.
footwork. I mean, he was like
they
a
can
dancing machine on that
Jump
one.
cut and stick in the ground and get to full speed right now.
All right. Landon Cruz spread out wide over here. Running backs offset to the right. Now give the other way to Colton. Colton pounds through the left side.
There
now
it
cuts
is.
across the green.
Big
Back to the
cutback.
outside and into the end zone again. 15 yards, and it's another Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Just can't give them a crease spike. Or they can take it to the house at any time. Good run there again by Colton.
That is it's dynamic. It's almost preposterous that they can turn plays like that into 15-yard gains.
Yeah.
That's nothing. It's a no big deal. They average 11.5 yards apiece.
And they just run the same way. It's like you just get no relief with either back, right?
A
I mean, they're
knuckleball
just-
for the extra
Yeah.
point into the wind.
Yeah,
You know, and that's good because even though something didn't go quite really smooth, the hold was good. Rosebrock was able to drive it on a line drive down through the uprights. His streak continues to roll up.
Hey, the snowman out there with some scores for us. Eastwood over Otsego 14-0 after one. 8-6 Antwerp leads Ayersville. And that's a big game in that area. Tenora over Paulding 14-0 at the end of one. And
Tenora, you say over Paulding?
Paulding, yep. And
That's a
I
pretty
just
good
have
team.
to say, Bill Bowser just said, is he Fred Flintstone? Because, Bill Bowser's back with us. He's doing soccer. It's great to have him back.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
been one of our original guys here at Tiger Sports Live. So, Bill, you're not Fred Flintstone. You might be Barney Rubble.
Yeah, you'll be Barney. Where do you throw Digger in at?
Bam Bam.
Yeah, he's Bam Bam. He'll text me now. Just shut up, Digger. I don't want to hear it.
All right, 28-0. Liberty Center with field position has grabbed control of this game early on. All right, now we'll see what Max Walker's got into the teeth of this win.
Hey, I do have to say hi to Scott Barrett. He's on another assignment tonight, watching us, I'm sure.
Now it's just a pooch kick, pounds and bounces all the way down to the 20. Takes a knee
listen.
right there.
If I'm the returner, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right there, seeing what just happened on that last kickoff. It's a business decision. I don't want to get blown up like the last guy. Let me just go down right here.
Did we ever get the number of that runaway missile
I
there?
think that was Brogan.
Brogan, 63.
Yeah.
Stevie
It was Brogan. Brogan got a player of the game one time here
Yeah, he
earlier
did.
in the year.
Yeah, Steven's just a good kid, good hard worker, and fruits of his labor starting to show up, and he's making a big impact Friday nights now.
All right, now Evergreen with the ball at their own 22. They got a double wide out to the far side, single over here. Out of the pistol, now motion in front. Drops, throws it underneath, ball bobbled and incomplete. The Tigers closed well.
Yeah, they did. Landon Bachman, once again in that passing lane, got his hands up, almost swatted that thing down. Just
That was my bad.
tough
Waylon
sledding.
Wentz was over there on defense, along with Zach Weaver.
Tough sledding for this offense tonight.
All right, second down and 10 from their own 22. Now, fakes it, runs straight ahead, and the quarterback drives his way forward all the way up to the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8, and it'll make it third down and very short.
Nice little run there by Bryce Bolger up the middle. And I think that's a little bit what Evergreen has lost with their senior quarterback they lost earlier in the year, kind of that run pass option, that dual threat, the guy that could throw it. So, everybody has to deal with injuries. Certainly, Liberty Center is a little bit more. They got a little bit more depth. They can handle some injuries, but you get some of these other teams in the league that they lose their top player or top two players, and it makes up big impact.
Oh, that's devastating. I mean, that's not the same game, but look what happened to the New York Jets. They traded to get Aaron Rodgers, and he make plays on 4 snaps. So, and they were thinking Super Bowl,
Yeah,
and now they're
that's right.
just hoping to.
Especially the quarterback position, right? I mean, it's such
Yeah.
an impact position in today's game, the way that they use it in the run-pass option, obviously throwing the ball, that everybody's continuing to go to these spread offenses, and that quarterback position is one of the most important positions on the field for sure.
You know, during this timeout, we might as well touch on it. We're going to make the playoffs, and hopefully we'll have a good run. We'll host the first game, and should we win, we'll host the next one too, I believe. But everybody's got the fever, and of course, so do I. But you got to remember that when you get into playoffs, everything changes. The gears get tightened up a little bit. You need a little more oil in the joints, and man, sometimes it's a lot tougher than it appears.
Yep.
So a long way to go, Tiger fans. All right. Out of the pistol, looking for running room.
Brogan.
Dives off or jacks
He
around
fumbled.
off one.
Whoa, how did he get that ball?
Did they fumble? Yeah, I
was
didn't
this?
see it come out. And the
Landon
Tigers say
Smith.
they have the football. We're waiting for the officials here to make a ruling. They're still in debate.
Oh, man, it looked to me like he just met him in the hole, just literally ripped the ball out of his hands, but they're giving Evergreen the ball there, Spike. What a play there by Landon Smith. Stephen Brogan was in there early, made him kind of cut that back, and Landon Smith met him in the hole and stripped the ball away, but they're going to give
Now it just goes to show the white shirts aren't getting paid to referee. The striped shirts are. Now that punt's got a little more oomph. That's going to come down at the 40-yard line, taken right there. That's Cam Colley breaks through one sleeve of people, pounds his way up across the 50 and down to the 49.
I think we might have maybe a roughing. Zach Weaver on an earlier punt was really close to getting a block, Spike, and he was really close on that one too. Looked like he kind of got pushed into the kicker and did hit him, so I'm wondering if we're going to get a 15-yarder here on roughing the kicker.
And thanks for bearing with us with our scoreboard camera. We had to make some adjustments due to the weather on it. It's back online now. We'll try to keep that going. If not, we'll stay on the clock. But for now, we're good. So,
Spike, I wanted to hit on kind of our offensive efficiency here the last few weeks. Obviously, against Bryan, we scored early and often. Patrick Henry early and often. So far tonight, early and often. I don't know how many times we punted against Bryan and Patrick Henry, but it couldn't have been, just a couple times. And we haven't punted yet tonight. We've had 4 possessions, obviously punched 4.
Yeah,
and
let's look at that.
Offensively, the efficiency is really impressive on how this offense is rolling right now.
We have punted 12 times in the season.
Wow.
12 times, and this is game number 8. So that's only a punt and a half a game.
Yes.
Whew.
Yes. I don't know if we punt. We might have punted once last week, I think. Maybe not, though. I mean, it was just.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, every time we're getting the ball, we're scoring right now.
Yeah, 5 possessions, 5 scores. Bryan, and the week earlier, or Patrick Henry, and the week earlier, Bryan. So Liberty scores about 125 points in 2 games. And
gee. They're a juggernaut right now, no doubt about it. I'm seeing some new faces here on offense. Hunter Spangler, I believe, is in at a right tackle. 54, Landon Smith, who just made that nice defensive play, is in on the line here as well.
Let's see if we can catch the center. Could that be Spangler? Clayton Seal.
I'm sorry.
Came
that
out.
is the Hunter is at center. Sorry.
Okay. Here's Amstutz under center. Pitch sweep hard around the left side.
Oh, my.
Cruz
Big
cuts
hole.
to the outside. Now cuts past another tackler. Finally brought down from behind, down inside the 40-yard line.
Wow.
31, 31, 33-yard carry for, I believe, Trent Cruz.
Just gash runs, big holes, gash runs. A lot of things working for the Tigers tonight.
Aiden Talent checks in at a wideout. He'll go to the far side, the Evergreen side of the field. Ball on the far hash. Tigers in a wing right set. Amstutz under center. Now motion out of Chambers. They're going to give second back off right side. Powers through and pulls about 3 tacklers down to the 32. Gain of 6. Now, that actually, we gained 6 yards, but the Evergreen defense is a little stouter than what we've seen the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, up front, they're pretty good. I mean, they've been efficient all year against the league teams, and They got some talent up there.
Landon Cruz checks back into the game. Chambers, wing back, sets on the right. Gives straight ahead on a dive. Powers through, puts his head down. Trent Cruz and bores down to the 25, gain of 7. Workman-like procedure here. Precision, hard work, and ooh.
Yeah, I think we got Goose Giesecke on the left side there, I believe, at a guard. You got Stephen Brogan. I don't know if they got Brogy at a tackle right now. Navarre at a right guard. I thought
Landon
Spangler was playing right tackle there for a little bit. Maybe they're moving him around.
Is that
maybe
Landon
I'm just seeing
Smith
things.
maybe at tackle over on the right?
On the right side, yes, that is
Yep.
Landon Smith.
Landon Smith getting a lot more playing time lately. All right, Tigers with Chambers on the far side, rolling left. Amstutz looking. Now lost it out there and picked off.
Ooh,
Return.
my goodness.
Wow, he was hit
Who
and
was
stopped
that?
right now at the 20-yard line.
Holy
Hunter
cow.
Spangler laid the lick
Oh,
on
my.
him.
Yeah, he's hurt there. That was a collision. My goodness.
They may say, well, why does he roll out to his left? Obviously, that's not his throwing hand side. But Liberty Center practices that play, that roll out to your opposite hand side a lot. They work on that and work on that.
It looked like it was a kind of a quick out route there, Spike, and I believe it was Cruz looked to turn that thing up because it was getting strung out.
Yeah.
And I think Amstutz was expecting him to come back to the ball a little bit more, kind of threw it up to give him a chance, and he was taken off down the field.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was a late flag thrown after.
Yeah, I think they're throwing the flag off based on the hit. I'm not sure, what they saw there. It was a big hit for sure. I don't know that.
Well, the question was he, or one of the
with his
questions
helmet or
was
something,
he,
maybe?
yeah, aim with a helmet.
Mhm.
Was he down? I don't know. That,
Yeah, it was a big hit.
Yeah, I don't know
But
if
sometimes
his
those
progress
change of
was done.
possession plays like that, Spike, you get bodies flying one way or another, and you can get some big time explosions, and hopefully that young man is okay. Hunter's a big fella, him barreling down on you, and that's a number 15.
Well,
looks like
he's
getting
up, walking off under his own power. Thankfully for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Will Roots there, sophomore. Pretty nice pick there by him.
Ah, yes. Well, Jiggs, you put it on a turnover like that. Like you said, everybody's flying around and fields get reversed, bodies get reversed, and
that's when some things can happen like that. Big hits, big explosions.
And they did call a 15-yard roughing call on that tackle. We're not really sure why, but it did look like he led with a helmet. But
all right. Well, I believe that's Amstut's first interception in 40. I think about 48 throws. So that's.
Can you get a wind-aided interception?
Yeah. We are
so
into the
that's a pretty
wind.
good stat.
That's true.
All right, out of the gun, they try to hand off, and Tigers piled that up again. That'll be another loss on the play.
A lot of bodies.
Wow. Boy.
Just nothing
another
doing.
minus yardage play.
Boy, Spangler and Zider are just pushing that pile back, and now Max Weaver's in there. 64's on the line now.
Brooks Bainfeld.
Brooks Bainfeld's on the defensive end.
Yep, very active tonight.
All right, we've got one of their big receivers. Here's Miller out here, one-on-one coverage. We'll see if they can't take advantage. Back to throw. Now a little jump screen, like a jump pass, and he throws it into the ground, so it'll be incomplete.
Hunter Spangler was barreling down on him. He had to get it up over top of him.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you as a quarterback, you see the pressure that he's seen tonight. You start seeing ghosts and start seeing the game a little bit faster than it's actually coming.
Alligator arms.
That's right. You can make throws like that. It happens.
Maybe he's a basketball player. Instead of a jump shot, a jump pass. All right. Now back out of the gun. Single setback, double wide out to either side. 3-step
Ooh,
drop.
Xander,
Looks-
my goodness.
Wow, Xander
Oh,
must have got
my.
a hold of him, and
Oh, that's a big hit. That is a big
that
hit.
was nearly a Saccarino,
Holy
but he
cow.
got it. Wow.
Xander,
He's not going to want that too
man,
many more.
he made a little swim move there and came through like he was almost unblocked. Big hit there by Xander Zeiter. He's continuing to make plays up front, and like the way he continues to grow at the D-line position, Xander Zeiter. Hopefully the quarterback's okay there. That was a big hit.
All right, back to punt. It's a high spiral off. That's going to hit at the 40 and take a sideways jab and head out of bounds. So Liberty Center with their field position is as deep on the field as it has been tonight. They'll start, I believe, somewhere down inside the 30. No, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. The spot, they ruled it went out of bounds up near the 38.
Yeah, they're not really sure. They're
No.
adjusting the sticks.
Yeah. Okay, so the Tigers come out on offense. They lead 28-0, 5.5 minutes to go here, second quarter. Chambers now in motion, wing right. They're going to hand it off, comes right up the middle, pounds forward, and he'll be good for about 6.
We got down the field blocks happening again. We've been talking about that, but Landon Cruz just took that corner and dropped him to the ground. Great block down the field. And when you're down the field blocking, you never know, right? You never know when these guys could potentially break one. So it's got to be every single play.
Well,
and
it's to the whistle.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example. You guys can watch the film, and Landon put him right in the back, right in his back.
Second down and 5. Give power right up the middle. 2. Colton Cruz pounds forward, runs over a tackler, and he'll pick up 6. And I believe that'll move the chains for the Tigers. Behind that, well, of course, they're running so many offensive linemen in and out of there.
We still got Navarre and Bachman on that left side.
Okay.
Yeah, they're no longer on the defensive line, though.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, get your reps here.
We got the Goose here at a right tackle and Tyler Lay at a right guard. Goose is normally at a guard, isn't he?
Yeah.
Got him playing some tackle.
Now dropping back, has to get rid of it. Coming out of there, great hustle by Trent Cruz. Couldn't get there. A pass rush on Amstutz kept us cool under pressure, got rid of the ball, and that'll bring up third down.
The play kind of got strung out there.
Second down.
Looked like kind of only a one-man route, and it was covered up pretty good.
Yeah, and
nice throwaway there.
Give Evergreen credit. They're pulling out all the stops. They're blitzing. And
they're battling.
Yep. All right. Tigers double wing set, single setback. Amstutz under center, motion this way. They're going to give it straight ahead and picks up about 3. Trent Cruz, the ball carrier.
Seth Navarre just continues to block after the whistle. Number 40 didn't really like it, but listen, the whistle didn't blow. I'm
Guys,
not sure what we're complaining about.
Wasion and Archbold are tied at 7 in the second quarter.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, big ball game there. Those guys are playing for a last gasp chance at part of the league title.
Yeah.
The loser goes home, and the winner still has a shot. All right, Tigers come out. Double wide out over here. Wing left set. Chambers in motion. Rolling right. Amstutz looks upfield. Fires upfield. Caught!
Catch.
What a grab in the air. Hold it in with 2 hands. Went down. Aiden Talent. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Pow!
That was a great catch there, Spike. Not a lot of room on any of the routes. Landon Amstutz put it right on the money, and Talent reached up and snagged that one. Great job. Got his feet and bounced there, too. Kind of did a little sideline dance.
Broadway Joe Amstutz. No, that's Landon. But I thought it sounded good anyway.
Nice catch.
Man.
Spike, we've got some people have resorted to going to their cars, so they're listening. They're not watching. It's 28-0 here with 2:59 left.
All right, now we got motion. They're going to hand it off. Colton Cruz around the left side. Got a blocker out there. Now hit once. Bakes that. Pins that past another one. Makes another cut to the right. Back to the left. Hold down right around the goal line.
He
and
fumbled
we'll
it.
See.
He fumbled it.
He did in the end zone. Wow.
I think,
Colton kind of held up there at the goal line. That's not something you normally see from him.
What a dazzling run.
I think we got a
He was
flag.
caught from behind.
Then they called it a touchdown. Liberty must have recovered it. But we can't fumble it forward, can we?
Or chop block.
Uh-oh, everything coming way back.
It was a heck of a run.
Uh-oh.
Well, I think
36-yard jaunt, but everything's coming back.
I'm sorry, Spike. I want to give credit. The Evergreen player didn't give up on that play. He chased Colton Cruz down, and I think you're right. Colton let up a little bit, and I think he probably won't be a fan of film tomorrow on that one. But
I
great
can't
play.
see him letting up. He had to have stepped in a gopher hole or something because that's not his demeanor. All right.
Did they get a chop block? Do we know? Was it a chop block or a hold? Did they say?
He really didn't.
It? I don't even know.
He didn't motion anything. I was watching him, so I'm not really sure.
All right. So the end result: Liberty Center has the ball in Evergreen's 46, first down and 20. Amstutz under center. He'll give it to the first back straight through. Trent Cruz pounds down inside the 40 for about 7. We'll go with the spot of the ball here.
It had to be a chop block because they marched off 15 yards.
Okay.
A hold would have been 10.
Yep.
So, but I think, Jigs, I think you're right. I did not see a signal from the referee, but he ended up marking off 15 yards.
Okay.
So,
all right, 2 minutes left in the first half. Second down and 14. Now out of the gun. Back to throw. And that was tipped at the line. Ooh, I kept looking downfield.
Number 40 for Evergreen. Nice play.
Number 40, Lane Vance. He's been pretty active tonight. Pretty good player.
I'm going to give credos to Evergreen. Now,
the
score is 28-0, but we had 3 very short fields to take advantage of. Evergreen is playing some good football.
They are.
Especially defensively, obviously.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, Jigs. At halftime, we'll cover both the bands here. We'll turn on our field microphone and do the best we can in this weather right now. Looks like it's letting up a little bit.
All right. Aiden Talent, Landon Cruz, both in the lineup. Now rolling right, looking upfield. Amstutz has a man out there. Caught! What a catch! He's going to roll it and catch! What a job there! 14 yards, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Wow!
Nice throw again there by Landon Amstutz.
Aiden Talent.
Talent with 2 terrific plays in a row. He ran a route down the sideline, cut out. Amstutz, boom! Right on the hands, dived in midair, grabbed it, went out of bounds. It's a catch. Tigers have a 1st and 10.
You only need 1 foot in high school, and he got both in there.
Yes,
that was an NFL
that
catch.
was a
great job, Aiden
double
Talent.
foot hit like you see on Saturday and Sunday. Amstutz out of the gun, rolling left, looking upfield. Now throws a short little lob out there, grabbed by Bainfeld, okay. And that picks up maybe 3 minute and a half. Clock still running, but we're seeing a different venue of Liberty defense. We're rolling out, we're throwing the ball, and we're making offensive receiver big plays with Amstutz pounding it right on the dime.
They marked him out of bounds, and the clock's still running.
Yeah.
Not really sure.
2nd down and 8. 107. Clock running. Trip receivers over here to the wide side. Amstutz out of the gun. Rolling right. Has 4 receivers out there. Throws underneath. That's caught down there inside the 15-yard line. Diving catch.
It's Aiden Talent night, isn't it? Jeez,
yes, 3 catches for Aiden Talent.
All nice catches.
Tigers run this 2-minute offense all the time. All right, they get to the line of scrimmage. 42 seconds on the clock. Double wide out to the far side. Tight end right. Amstutz back to throw. Lost it for the corner. Talent going for it. Knocked out of his hands at the last minute. A sterling defensive recovery there.
That last throw by Landon Amstutz, the one who was rolling out Spike, he got hit hard. Was able to kind of throw back across his body. Made a nice throw to Ian Talent to get that first down 2 plays ago.
I know we want to work on passing game. I'm not quite sure I like how many times that Landon Amstutz has been hit.
Yeah.
Evergreen's defense is really playing really good.
They're good up front.
All right, so 32 seconds. The clock stops. 2nd and 10. Ball on the Evergreen 14. Amstutz, deep pitch. Cruz cuts it back to the right. Down the middle and into the end zone.
Oh,
it's a
no.
touchdown.
They're going to get us for a late block again.
No.
Oh, my goodness. I watched that.
A stinking, rotten, no good yellow flag out there.
That all the way on the other side of the play.
Yeah. Trenton.
Oh, that's going to bring it back.
Trenton didn't even get touched on that play there. I think big hole and followed his brother through the hole, and he was off to the races.
Boy, you get those guys through the hole. We've said it 14 times tonight, but they are fantastic in that element. Wow. All right, so now they're going to set the ball down.
Interesting.
Well, Casey's asking for an explanation because, I watched that play. I watched what he called, and our Liberty Center tight end was just standing in the way, and the Evergreen player fell down, and he got the call.
All right, Talent and Landon Cruz spread out wide to the far side, dropping back, throws on the lob, and picked off at the goal line. So Evergreen plays center fielder, got back, and on the long lob to the end zone, picked off at the goal line, and it'll belong to Evergreen now with 16 seconds left.
Looked like that ball kind of came out of his hand a little wrong, and obviously throwing into this wind that we've been talking about all night tonight, that thing hung up there a little bit, gave the Evergreen defender a chance to get underneath it.
And I believe, was that defender the safety that came from
Yes.
the other side?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, the ball, he threw it well, but once it, like you just mentioned, Jiggs, I think that was a big difference because I think on that post route, he had a few strides open there.
It definitely got hung up there by that wind. It played a factor.
Well, that's all right. That's why we're here. You got to work on those things.
That's right.
All right, 28-0 now. Evergreen picks off another one. They survive.
D-line licking their chops here this deep and near the wow,
knocked down. That was Seth Navarre, number 70.
Yeah,
that's a slammerino when you knock a pass down.
You think the defensive line was salivating there a little bit? Quarterback in the end zone.
Oh, yeah. They're pinning their ears back for sure. I've really been impressed tonight with Navarre, Spangler, Xander, and Backelman of getting the hands up in the throwing lanes. I know they're quick passing teams like this. You got to get your hands up. They're doing a good job tonight.
All right. Back to throw. They'll just give it up the middle.
Baki.
And Baki.
Poor progress, maybe.
Rolls him.
He wanted it. Look at him. He's calling for it.
Carries him backwards into the end zone.
He hog-tied him like a steer.
Yeah.
Drug him back into the end zone. He was calling for the safety there, Spike.
All right,
Great
that'll
play.
be the halftime here. All right, well, we'll break for halftime here. We'll cover the bands 28-0 here from Piper Field. Liberty Center over the Evergreen Vikings. And with that, everybody, we'll be back right after this halftime break.
Next, we take it back 20 years to the class of 2003. This jammer is frequently played every Friday in the bandstand. We're hitting around the fast crew, bass crew, with this hit from the rock band, White Stripes. Here's 7th Nation Army. Oh yes, and did I mention that we're celebrating class of 1983 tonight? We end our show with a tribute to the class of 83, celebrating their 483. The speaker may be included in that crowd. This band class from the past is sure to rock. Journey sure was huge then. We bring you separate ways.
halftime enjoyment, we proudly present the Evergreen Viking Band. The Viking Band is led on the field by senior drum major Michael Wheeler. Tonight's senior show is kicked off with a 1973 Elton John tune that pays tribute to the early days of rock and roll music, Crocodile Rock. The band seniors of the class of 24 have chosen to go to the beach for the rest of our seniors halftime show. We feature our 4-year members in a Beach Boys classic, Fun, Fun, Fun. For our closer this evening, the seniors paddle out into deep waters and hang 10 as they surf off into the sunset. As is our tradition, we introduce to you all of our seniors individually and thank them for all of the dedication and hard work. So if the surf's up, our beach bums take a turn shredding the waves before they wipe on out. Jessica Campbell and Show Me More. Maddie Anicheski and Rebecca Van Wormer. Michael Wheeler. Ray Rostov. Luke Hines, Joe Holmes, and Shammy Baby, Sammy Miller. Thank you, seniors, for all that you've given to us from your hard work and your talents, the way you persevered through so much to be great leaders for our band. We're very thankful for each and every one of you. Now we ask that you lead us off the field one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to check our tickets for the winning 50-50 number. In the meantime, let's check the Milkman's out-of-town scoreboard. At halftime, Brian leads Swanton 35-0. In the second quarter, Patrick Henry leads Delta 44-7. And also in the second quarter, Archibald leads Wasion 14-7. Thank you to the Milkman for looking up those scores to present you here tonight. Our winning 50-50 ticket number is 667-288. Again, our winning 50-50 ticket number is 667-288. Tonight, you can pick up your prize at the press box.
All right, we're back here from Pfeiffer Field in the home of the Evergreen Vikings. It's Liberty Center 28, and the home team Evergreen Vikings 0. And Jigs, you got some stats here, and I think that's probably going to tell the same story.
Yeah, pretty lopsided there in the first half. Liberty Center with 153 rushing yards, total yardage 216 yards. Evergreen minus 24 rushing yards and 0 passing yards for a total of minus 24. Rushing for Liberty, Colton Cruz 6 rushes, 65 yards and a touch. Trenton Cruz 9 carries, 64 yards. Colton Chambers 3 rushes for 34 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively for Liberty, Colton Cruz 3 tackles, Trenton Cruz 3 tackles. Stephen Brogan 4 tackles, Landon Bachman 4 tackles and a sack. Defensively for Evergreen, number 40, 4 tackles, 1 sack, Lane Vance. Number 56, Robert Pennington, 6 tackles and a sack. Number 7, Jesse Spradlin, 5 tackles. And number 15, Will Roots with an interception. And number 19, not sure that gentleman's name, has another interception for Evergreen.
Yeah, and you know, that's you talked about 40. Was it Lance? I think it was.
Yes.
He made quite a few key plays, and you know, this doesn't get in the stat book, but really hurried the quarterback multiple times in that, and actually got a few hits on Landon Amstutz.
There's been a lot of pressure in our passing downs for sure. It's not been a real clean pocket for Landon Amstutz tonight, but he's still throwing some good balls. A couple picks that he did throw. You know, the wind, I think, had an effect towards the end of the half there, and then maybe a little misunderstanding on the interception a little bit earlier with the receiver there. But other than that, pretty clean first half for Liberty Center.
I kind of like. I don't say I like it, okay, but the plays that were missed and the pressure on Amstutz. But those are great things. Now they've got something to work on, something really solid. The team knows it. They'll see it. They'll go over it. And that just re-progresses, recalibrates the whole mindset now as we head into the final 2 regular season games.
You want to talk about mindset? It's the northern hinterland, as you like to say, weather, windy, raining. The Liberty stands are full.
Yeah,
people are standing.
I think we got the Evergreen Vikings outnumbered probably 5-1. I would say on fans right now. It's pretty lopsided.
Liberty Center will get the ball here as we won the toss, and I believe we deferred. So, hey, before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. KK Collision, 27 years, been servicing the automotive needs of Northwest Ohio and Liberty Center. Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency, offices all over Henry County. Since 1933, they've been taking care of business in our area. STN designed the home for custom screen printing and embroidery, and the current printer of our apparel. Appreciate that. Affinity IT Group, cybersecurity and managed services for your computers, your needs. Yeah, my daughter will give me crap about that. Computer needs for your business. 3-chord, sign it, sew it, screen it, promote it. Davis Farm Services, family-owned Liberty Center, family-owned agronomy business serving Northwest Ohio farmers for over 50 years. I'm sure Miss Karen Howell's out there listening somewhere. If she's smart, she's not here, and she is. Swan Welding, they've been providing their customers the highest quality metal fabrication services since 1956. Pam and Dick Leatherman, Pisanello's Pizza, sharing her gang, do a great job. I'm usually up there a couple, 2-3 days a week. Great buffet, great pizza subs and wings. And then finally, the Gerald Grain Centers at Farmer-Owned Cooperative, 9 locations in Northwest Ohio. One of them, we're neighbors in Liberty Center, right downtown Liberty Center. Woo!
Well, did you think of that little jingle, the sign it, seal it, sell it, and demote?
Shane's not here, right? Oh. He's not here? Yeah, I did.
That's a catchy.
Hey, we do have to say congratulations to Cam Colley's dad.
Yes.
Got married. He's down in Florida on his honeymoon. And guess what he does on his honeymoon? He listens to Tiger football.
Yeah, they're watching tonight. All right, return across an angle, got a slot, heading upfield, now cuts it out.
Speaking of
Cali,
Cali.
all the way up to the 50-yard line. An explosion. Cam took that angle hard from the far corner of the end zone, came across the field, and then did a hard cut back, had a lane, and it was only a superlative effort by Evergreen that caught him at midfield.
Cam was trying to answer the call there, Captain, trying to take it to the house there.
Yeah.
Started mentioning that last name, and good return there by Cam.
I think they're going to call it back.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one
Block in the back.
Stinking rotten. Nope.
I'll tell you, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Wow, are they being picky? You know,
Yeah.
I get it. You don't want somebody getting hurt, but come on. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well. I wonder if that fire pit crew down on Road 2 is inside or if they're
If
still
they're smart,
outside
they are.
burning the coals. All right, Tigers have the ball to start out here, and Sweep falls down.
Little slick field out there tonight. You're going to have to keep your feet underneath you.
Put
Obviously,
them
this
extra
rain.
long spikes
Yeah,
in
there
the
you
cleats
go.
there.
You get this rain on that field. You get some of them
All right.
rubber BBs.
All right. Stopped because of the slip by Cruz. 2nd down and 13. The ball back on Liberty's own 26-yard line.
Boy, he had a wide open field out here too. That would have probably gone for a long gain.
All right, Tigers kind of run a little bit of a spread, single setback. Chambers in motion, takes the handoff. Chambers hits and goes over the top of one tackler and then gang tackled down. Pickup of about 3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 10 to go for Liberty.
You know, guys, one of the things that's happening, we run them jet sweeps. I tell you what, the backs that are out front there are just down blocking. I mean, just cleaning out
Yep.
players that come up against them. And you know, we talk all year about how our backs will block.
Yep.
And that I think that is a key to our ground game.
All right, Trent Cruz comes out. Aiden Talent into the game. He's got 3 catches. Back to throw. Stutz throws a little bubble screen and caught. But they are going to come up short. Pickup of maybe 7 on the play, and that'll bring up Liberty's a 4th down situation, and they're in their first possible punt situation of the evening.
Nice little play design there, Spike. Had a little inside screen. Looked like we were just 1 block away. Worked pretty well. Defensive line was coming in, hit him 1 block away from it, letting that one go to the distance here.
Evergreen, they're playing tough on
They are.
defense. You gotta appreciate it. Now, kind of runs up.
Nice kick.
No, gets
Jeez.
it off. He
Into the
tried to
wind.
sense the field, wanted to maybe take off, but
You thought about
Walker,
it.
Walker finally decided, got a good leg into it.
Hey, that's one of them. If it's not called and you decide to run that and you don't get it, that's a harsh reality come film time the next
Yeah.
morning. So he was thinking though, wasn't he? He was
Yes,
kind of
he
running
was.
around, running
37
towards the
yards
line.
on that running punt. So good job with that decision.
And since you guys mentioned Film Day tomorrow, I want to remind viewers out there that the JV game has been canceled for tomorrow, so there will be no JV game at home. There will be boys soccer at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the stadium, so we'll have that, but no JV game.
Okay. Now Evergreen with the ball at their own 30-yard line. Out of the gun. Motion back to the ball.
Yeah,
they're going to give it on their own little jet sweep to the right.
Fumble.
And that's going to pick up about 4
Boy,
yards.
that looked like motion to me.
No, he fumbled that. I thought I saw you fumble there.
Boy, I tell you, this far away, all I can see is blurs. I couldn't see if there was a fumble.
At least the rain let up a little bit.
Yeah.
The wind's died down a little.
All right. 2nd and 8 for Evergreen from their own 34. Wide outs to either side. They're going to give it a little delay off the right side. Boned up there. I believe that was Bachman again.
Seth Navarre and Trenton Cruz.
Wow.
Brooks Bainfeld. Just a collapse there on the defensive line. Great job, Seth Navarre. there's just no room running the ball for
Now, was that
Evergreen
Navarre
tonight.
rather than Bachelman?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like they're flipping sides a little bit tonight. I think Seth was on that side. Now I saw Lena Bachman on the left side now.
All right, out of the gun, Tiger Show blitz coming at him.
Ooh.
He gets rid of it just in time. Let me see. Was
Navarre
Navarre
again.
again.
Yep.
Was that Rentz also putting on pressure?
Yeah,
Well-
Whalen was in there as well.
And Rentz made a great play not to get a penalty.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He held up because he could have
He coulda,
put
yeah.
the big stick on him.
Seth Navarre really active tonight. This defensive line is dominating, and these linebackers are flowing very well tonight defensively.
All right.
Really solid.
Tigers back at their own 30-yard line. They're giving this punter some respect here with the wind at his back. Has time. Gets off a low liner, and that's going to hit it to 40. Grabbed there by Moeller around the left side. Hits, spins off that tackle. Gets a block. Now finally snowed under up around the 45-yard line. Good return of 5 yards under the circumstances.
Good job by Thomas there, just fielding that ball off the bounce. Kind of had a little bit of an awkward bounce, obviously, with wet ball tonight. Turned that into a few positive yards off the punt. Be interesting to see what the offense does here. Stalled a little bit in that first possession there, Spike. Wonder if we go back to the ground and try to get that reestablished here for another drive.
I think it might be time to just batten down the hatches. We're up only 28-0. Here's a give behind two blockers. That's Cruz. Cuts it around the outside. Running room down to the 40-yard line.
Hunter Spangler.
Gain of 30 yards.
Hunter Spangler out on the edge here.
Well, it's not the same thing, but the old Southern Cal student body sweep right and left, that was kind of memory lane type of stuff, just watching everybody flowing out in front.
Yeah, I think Hunter Spangler is playing right tackle now. I thought I saw him playing right tackle earlier, so he was in at center a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
Now he's playing right tackle.
He's moving around. Very agile, versatile, and mobile young man for a sophomore. Now the snap. Give to the second back.
Big hole.
Right up the middle. Ain't nobody there to get him. Colton Cruz into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown from 40 yards out. 70 yards in 2 stinking plays. Whoa, baby!
Yeah, you can't give that guy that much room. Man, oh man, I don't think he was touched again.
No, untouched.
Just looked like a power maybe off to the left side, and he was untouched off to the races. Colton Cruz.
Well, Tigers line up.
And he didn't let up this time.
No.
He was not going to do that again, I guarantee you.
Spangler the snapper. Amstutz the holder. Good snap. Good hold. Ian Rosebrock on the way. Good again. 35-0. Liberty Center now. Can't get that running clock started. But before we go any farther, we talked about the rain and the wind, but it's 50 degrees out. And wait till it gets to be 20 in
That's
December.
right. That's right.
Woo!
Everybody be voting for the running clock then.
I used to like playing in this type of stuff right here. You got the wind, you got the rain. This is football weather, Spike. Get an edge off that heat, and
I suppose you were one of the guys that just didn't even wear a sweatshirt or
well,
long sleeve.
yeah, I
You were
did.
probably
I wanted to. When I got to college, I did. I was kind of the in the locker room. You never wore sleeves, but when I got to college, I did. I wasn't afraid to put them on.
Yeah, you had people to answer to.
If I can't feel my arms and make a tackle, you know what I'm saying? So if I can put some sleeves on and try to keep in a little warmth, I'm going to try to.
Well, and give credit to Evergreen. They're not hanging their heads. They're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, Liberty Center's just executing, but they're chasing everything down. They're stunning. They're running their linebackers in and out. And they've got some playmakers.
Yeah, I watched them against Bryan last week, and they did. They played Bryan tough. up to the end. It was
line drive kickoff. That's going to hit it to 15. One bounce, picked up, returned down the sideline. Running room there, and he'll get out across the 35-yard line.
No, I think they're going to get him about the 32.
That's one of the best returns we've seen here in the last several weeks. Normally it's just a race to get them at the 20-yard line there. Pretty good return there, Evergreen. Not sure who was in on that tackle. It's kind of on the far sidelines.
It's like Rents and I thought 21.
Maybe Teddy Wyram back, maybe?
Wyram back.
Yeah, tough little runner, tough kid. All right, so Evergreen out of the gun. Straight drop.
Xander.
Has to jump, fires out there. That's caught up at the 35-yard line and peeled and wheeled after that.
That poor quarterback had to take his choice whether let 75 get him or 33 get him.
He's had a lot of pressure tonight. This D-line is getting home and making life not very fun for number 10, Bryce Bolger. He was able to complete that ball, though.
Yep, pick up a 6. Well, we'll call it 5. Second and 5.
Blake Garber down here at the bottom, number 14, corner.
Man in motion to the far side. Sets up as a wing over there. Now fires to the sideline. Too high and incomplete.
I see Garrison Cruz checked into the ball game as well, a linebacker.
Ooh.
Yep.
Just come out. I just call his name.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jake. Appreciate that.
I think he had a couple. He was in for a couple plays there. Just kind of saw his number. Zach Weaver is playing a good game tonight. You know, he's been really active, kind of in that.
Yeah, he's
linebacker
always that mix him up,
in position,
him up, muddy him up player. All right, you off that right side, and nothing doing there. Tigers meet him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Fourth coming up.
Waylon Rents underneath there. I think Xander Zeider was in on that tackle as well. Tough sledding inside tonight for the Vikings.
Yeah, did they have negative yards?
Yeah, it was negative 24 total and rushing. So they had 0 passing yards first half. It's kind of what it looked like. I mean, they continue to have negative plays. They're like, man, I don't think they got many yards, and they didn't.
Okay, they're going to go for it. 4th and 5. You can't say as I blame him. Back to throw. Has time. Throws the home run ball. Got a man out there just over his outstretched diving fingertips down there at the 30-yard line.
Quarterback got sandwiched.
Yeah, was that Backelman and not sure who the other one. Backelman got it. Backelman and Xander.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not feeling too good. He's been taking some shots. Decent ball there.
Wow, yeah.
It really was, and he had him.
Well, and you know, if you're the Vikings at 35-0 with a running clock, what do you got to lose?
Yep.
Nothing.
Why not?
And that was a great play. It was just slightly overthrown. I think without the wind, that might have been they very well could have been a touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've got Grady Miller now, number 1 in at quarterback.
All right, Miller under center, motion this way, give to the second back, running room there for Rents. Rents will bang his way down inside the 30-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 8 on the play.
And here comes some additional platooning players.
I think Jackson Bartell's at a wing.
Yep, 17.
Thomas Moeller at a wing, halfback.
Spangler probably the center because Clayton Seal now has come out.
79.
74 is at center.
Clayton O'Neill on the left side.
Double wing set, motion Moeller. He'll take the handoff around the left side, cuts it up, now goes outside, and brought down from the angle side, but he'll get down to the 21. Pickup of 8. Tigers move the chains closer to the end zone.
Yeah, I think Hunter Spangler was at the center position on that play.
Good run there by Thomas.
Good pursuit by Evergreen,
even
though he picked up 8 yards. This Evergreen team's playing football.
They got some athletes.
You know, after what we've seen the last 3 weeks, this team is out there.
They're fighting.
They're busting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and Patrick Henry, big over Delta, 44-7 here so far. So
wing pitch, and they're going to be hit in the backfield. That's going to go for a loss. Evergreen pinning their ears back. No, that was, what was the score?
Patrick Henry 44, Delta 7. So PH,
Wow.
that was one of the things we talked to the coaching staff and the people in the know, and Patrick Henry, they wanted to make sure that Patrick Henry they had to come back strong. And 44-7. Archbold leads Wauseon 14-7 at halftime.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tight one. All right, so the Tigers come out, 2nd down and 14. 1:10 left in the third quarter. Miller under center. Wing left set, pitch deep to Rentz. Rentz
Big
cuts
hole.
down the middle. Wide open down the hash marks. Cuts her back outside into the end zone. 26 yards. Waylon Rentz. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
I saw Max Walker, number 50,
Yeah.
with a great block there. It's kind of hard live time seeing some of these blocks unless you go play the film back, but Max Walker had a really good block there. I saw sticking with his block all the way till the end of the play there. Waylon Rentz just running open green fields.
Wow.
I don't know if he was touched again, Spike. We've got a lot of running backs
Loaded,
just
yeah.
Thomas Moeller now
Running wild.
holding.
Oh, there's a good
It's either Spangler or Gray. I know are the JV
good
snappers.
snap. Moeller got it down clean. Kick
Oh,
on the way. It is up. It is
And that was
good
Tyler
again.
Lay. Tyler Lay snapped the ball.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Liberty, able to really utilize a lot of people here, get a lot of reps. It's 13 seconds left here in the third.
just getting that run game reestablished here. The first half, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, that we wondered if Liberty would try to get the passing game going a little bit, work on some things tonight.
Yeah.
Evergreen's secondary has not been the best all year. They did a lot of that in the first half, and they were effective with it. Second half here, I think we're getting back to the ground game, getting back to the bread and butter. And
that may
it's showing
change
here.
when we change ends.
Yeah,
Too.
true.
We'll be throwing with the wind versus against it. So that flag is still straight out over there, guys.
Yeah, it's a rough one. Yeah, lots of umbrellas up. Is it still raining?
Yeah,
Okay.
slightly.
Okay, Walker to kick off again. Wyron Beck over here has the
Now what's
duty
the
of
problem?
outside.
Oh, they ran the clock, running clock. They hit as soon as they set the ball
okay.
down. So that's the end of 3 here. Liberty Center 42. The Evergreen Vikings 0. Hey, we got a break. We always want to thank our sponsors, but let's talk a little bit about our schedule. There will be no JV game tomorrow, as we said. Evergreen just simply doesn't have enough people. But we will have boys soccer versus Lake tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And then we'll come back on Tuesday, I believe. Yes. Tuesday, yep. The Lady Tigers soccer team will take on. And it's not Delta, is it, Danny? I got Delta in there, but it's not Delta. There was some changes in there. And then, next week's going to be a big soccer week. We've got boys soccer. We've got girls soccer. We've got 8th grade football. And then we'll be home next Friday against Delta. And, that'll be
Is it Delta or Wauseon?
No, Wauseon's the last game of the year. Wauseon is the last game, and it'll be senior night, the last week of the season this year for our senior football players.
Potential clincher of the league there.
Yes.
For the final home game.
All right, so Walker again with the wind at his back. Unloads. No, that's a bounder,
dangerous
pounder,
too.
and grinder all the way down to the 10-yard line. Look for a seam.
Ouch.
And the Tigers gang tackle
That
over
is,
there at the
there are some violent.
Yeah, this kickoff team is,
Okay, honey.
I'm telling you, I would not want to be returning against this kickoff team.
And guys, we talk, like I said, we sit down with Casey every Wednesday morning, Scott Barrett and I do, and, when Casey, in the opening couple games, they really worked hard on people staying in their lanes. They got some younger kids. This is a great time to get reps. They talk about staying in your lane, staying disciplined. Special teams, and it's like you can attest to this because you're around practice.
Yeah.
They work on these things constantly.
Yep. Oh, yeah. All right, they come out of the gun, give straight ahead, and a little bit of run room. Kicked it outside, running down the sideline. He's at the 50. It's a foot race now, and Evergreen is going to get on the board with a 78-yard touchdown run. He was slowed down at the line of scrimmage and then broke loose all of a sudden, and it was just a sprint to the end zone in front of the Evergreen sideline.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a burst of speed right there.
Max Mossing got loose on the sidelines, and we had a couple Tigers that were really close to running him down, but he had a burst, and
I think they're going to go for 2.
He was off to the races.
Yeah, might as well. Well, you know.
Nope.
Good run there by Max Mossing.
Yeah, I think the coaches are holding up 2 fingers, so I think they're going to go for 2 here.
Yep. Clock running. It's at 10 minutes and counting. So out of the shotgun. Trip receivers over here. Drops, throws, high and incomplete. I think that's been one of his problems. He's been a little high all night. But again, not the starting quarterback that they had banked on. And so 42-6.
He's been there for 7 weeks. So he's. But again, this wind, this weather just does not to really play into the.
Not an ideal night to throw the football.
Hey guys, a couple other things with Tiger Sports Live is we've had our apparel store online, and they are now producing those shirts. But you'll be able to get Tiger Sports Live apparel at Marigold Market, the flower shop up in Liberty, where you get your football tickets. You'll be able to buy Tiger Sports Live gear, and all of the money from these other things other than our sponsors, and money including the sponsorships, will go to our foundation. And the Tiger Sports Live Foundation is really built to help our students gain experience, gain accessibility to broadcasting equipment, and we're also going to sponsor a few scholarships for any student that wants to go into broadcasting or communication. So a lot of good things. If you're interested in finding out more about that, you can talk to myself, Karen Savage, or any of our board members or Tiger Sports Live guys, and we'll get you in the right direction. So,
all right. So now Evergreen gets a chance to kick off.
Oh, Spike, we haven't said anything about Diamond Dan Kessler over here on the camera tonight.
That's right.
DDK.
Yeah, Silent Warrior.
He's minding his own
DDK.
That's going to be picked up back at the 18-yard line. Return straight up the middle.
Cammy.
They're not going to get him. What a run. What a burst. What speed. And it's into the end zone. Liberty Center comes right back with a dazzling
There you go, Eric.
Thunderstruck kickoff return for a touchdown.
There you go, Eric Colley down there in Florida on your honeymoon.
Wow.
Have that.
He was close a little bit earlier, Spike, and boy, he was off to the races there. That guy's got
What
some speed
burst.
and quickness. Heck, he can get up and go, can he? What is that, touchdown number 6 now?
Man,
without any offensive touchdowns, I think, for Cam Colley.
I hate that old cliche about lightning in a bottle. Buddy, this was electromagnetic moonshots or something.
He's dangerous. He is dangerous back there.
Here's the kick on the way. That's blocked.
Not sure what happened there up front.
Yeah, the snap looked solid.
Yeah.
The hold was good.
Yeah.
Wow, the score now 48-6. Was that Ian kicking, or did
I think it was Ian Rosebrock kicking? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Okay. That didn't matter.
There you go, Eric Colley down there. There's your wedding gift from your son.
I'll bet you were never that fast, Eric.
Continue to be impressed by Cam Colley and the playmaker that he has become, and obviously as a corner, we've seen what he's done with his interceptions and
Cam
his
is a
returns.
Sophomore?
He's a junior. He's a junior.
Okay.
And his punt and kickoff returns. This guy is. We're talking about weapons a lot on this team, and he's turning into a weapon. He really is.
Wow. Yep.
That's at least his 6th touchdown of the year, maybe. Yeah, and he's never carried the ball on offense. That's the thing. 6 touchdowns, never carried the ball on offense.
Get that guy a little screen pass or something, man. He is dangerous.
They can get that into the offense.
He is dangerous in the open field.
Mr. Carl Carter in the booth with us tonight. Staying out of the weather.
Yeah, Carl was outside.
Now
He made
line
a
drive kick, and that's going to come down and hits about 2 yards deep. In
Carl
the
was
end
out.
zone.
He's
Carl
more
was
of a man
outside.
than we are, buddy.
He was smart. He came into the box here in the second half. Get out of that wind and rain.
And kick off into the end zone. So now a bunch of new numbers coming out for Liberty Center.
I still think what a great game. There's things to look back at. We mentioned this earlier, but there's going to be some things to look back at tomorrow morning to fix, to redirection it, to get everything back on an even keel. And Evergreen give Liberty they give them a little bit of run for their money on defense, and that's something Liberty will have to look at. All right, out of the gun.
Ooh.
They're going to hand off, and
Brogan.
not much there at all.
Stephen Brogan.
Yeah, and I
in
think
there
Collins is in there, I believe, 79.
79.
Is that
Clayton O'Neill. That's
Clayton O'Neill, okay.
Yeah.
56 is in the game. Lucas Navarre. Heath Atkinson, number 6, down here at the corner. And 22, Caden Sonnenberg, the other
The
corner
tank.
there.
Yeah, Heath Atkinson, number 6. Here's the snap. Give up the middle.
Ooh.
And, boy, he had him wrapped up, grabbed and pounded from the side. Tigers ganged him again.
His number 30, Garrison Cruz, had him kind of picked up, and then number 50 finished him off.
Oh, was
Max
that
Walker.
Garrison that had his legs
Yeah,
up
and then
there?
Walker
And then
came
Walker
through and
came and
kind of tagged
acting
him.
like he was on the kickoff team.
It was a good play there by them two.
Garrison Cruz is in a...
Future linebackers there.
Boy, he's in a world of his own. He's just in that bounce-off bubble stuff.
Number 4, Will Fitzenreiter in the game
Tigers
as well.
show him blitz. Fire to the sideline, caught over there, and good solo tackle, catching up from behind. They can't get that.
was
15, Noah Hammondtree.
Hammondtree,
And Brogan was out there, 63.
as always.
Number 23, Kyler Kern coming into the game.
22, that's Tank Sonnenberg, I think. Yep.
26, Tyler Roars. Uh-oh, we got some guys coming in, coming out, trying to get some numbers figured out here. Oh, it's a pump.
Go in, go out.
All right, back in punt formation. Low line drive, that's going to hit it to 40. And now picked up. Not much of a chance there, but that's their job.
Will Fitzenreiter.
Yep, Will Fitzenreiter.
Pretty brave there to pick that one up amongst some traffic. Good job, Will.
Yeah.
Hey, he's in a
on to that
varsity
one.
game on the field.
That's right.
He's gonna go for it. Hey, we've got a lot of people texting us, and if when we put everybody's name on the air, we would be here forever. But thank you guys we're all the way from Florida to Seattle, Washington, to Timbuktu, Oak Island. And thank you all for following Tiger Sports Live. We appreciate it.
Oh, and we've got a Canadian listener.
No, they're here tonight.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Hey.
Hi. Hey. All right, that's Moeller snowed under. We had a flag in the backfield. Bad block.
Well, he is signaling, but he immediately turns to the other side, signals, and gets it over with. That's what he's doing. So I got to watch him. So, yeah, they're going to get not sure.
Sideline warning? Is that?
That's what it looked like, but, he
Yeah, he didn't,
The motions
didn't seem
from
to be
the-
engaged with Liberty's sideline.
Not getting a lot of motions from this officiating crew tonight. Not
All
sure
right.
what they're calling.
it's
half the time.
cold. It's cold.
That running clock down to 4.5 minutes now. Liberty with the ball back at their 37. 1st and 27 officially. Here's the give. Second back looking for running room. Slips and falls there in the backfield. So, yeah, it's
Wyvern
getting,
back.
getting a little dicey out there.
79, Clayton O'Neill is blocking down the field. 15, 20 yards down the field. Good job by him.
Colton Skapansky.
Sapansky.
Yeah, that's good. He's out. He comes off. All right, just under 4 minutes. Mason Smith now, the quarterback, under center. Pitch deep around the right side, and not much there. Evergreen closes fast. From the size of the Evergreen players, I'd say they're still going with their first unit.
Well, they're very limited on numbers.
Well,
so
that's true, too.
There's not a lot of kids, and that's the reason we don't have a JV game tomorrow. Is just they just don't have the numbers, and unfortunately, that's a thing going on in the area now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Liberty Center with 687 kids on the sideline.
All right, Smith again under center. Just over 3 minutes left. Smith gives straight ahead, pounding away, prancing, dancing, gets up across the 40 to the 42. Pick up a 6. It'll bring up 4th down, though. And Liberty needs to move the ball down to the Evergreen 37. So we're punt formation.
Number 30 into punt, Garrettson Cruz, freshman punter. Freshman squad looks like, I think the freshman squad's in there now.
Okay.
Good snap. Wow,
Nice. Heck of a
line
kick.
drive, and that's going to
Bomb.
hit all the way down at the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you what.
It'll go into the end zone. Woo!
If he would have been, that sucker might have rolled 100 yards.
That might have been
a 99-yard
slightly
punt.
wind-aided.
It was
Hey.
48 yards in the air, and then it bounced all the way
Man.
to I imagine Maumee, for all I know. But, yeah, the wind was at his back, but that ball was kicked so hard
He
and
got
on
all
the
that one.
line, I'm not sure the wind had enough chance to help it.
Yeah, I believe our JV unit, freshman unit, in there. Not all the freshmen.
JTO crew down here in the corner.
David Minnick, defensive lineman, in. Give off the left side now, cuts it outside, running room out here. They've got a block. Heading across the 40 now, cuts across the green, and brought down from behind up
Old
around
Crew.
the 45-yard line. Old Crew on the tackle.
Made a nice play. He didn't give up on it and ended up getting up into there. And
All right, out of the gun. Trip receivers to the far side. They're just going to give it up the middle. And Liberty Center, a credible job there to stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Kyler Kern. Somebody
57.
57 underneath there. Deegan Schweiger.
Deegan Schweiger. There's
Deegan.
a good young football player.
He's been on that kickoff team. And
Yeah, sees a lot of action. All right, out of the gun, they'll give it. Bounces around
Nice
and hitting the backfield. Still spins off of that, but the Tigers corral that right
Schwager
now.
again.
yeah, Kyler Kern in on that tackle as well.
Yep. Now
We got a new
post of Tigers.
Yep.
I think Collins 78.
Lewis.
Isaiah Orth.
Yep. Tell you, Lewis Collins has played some good ball.
Yeah.
Big Lou. See what he
All
can
right,
do inside
out of the
here.
gun, clock at 30 seconds. This could be about the last play. They're going to loft it over there. A little screen takes on 3 tacklers, and Kyler Kern, one of them, in there.
That might do it, Spike.
Let's see.
The,
Also, Caden Sonnenberg.
the tank.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get another playoff. That's going to be it here.
2, 1, and that's it. Liberty Center outlasts Evergreen in a slick rain or wind-driven rain tonight. Not the best conditions, but we ain't seen nothing yet. But the Tigers win it, 48-6. Now, let's look at this thing and, realistically. I saw things tonight that Liberty really dominated, but if the sharpness, maybe was that lacking to you a little bit?
Yeah, I think what you saw a little bit, Spike, is offensively, I think there was a effort to get the pass game going a little bit. Obviously, we looked like we had some new pass plays in there, some new routes, some different things. So I think that was a point of emphasis for sure. Obviously we are a run-heavy team, so you put in some of that passing, it'll maybe affect some of that run game and how effective we can be. So I think we slowed down maybe a little bit the first half based on that. Coming out of the second half, I think we had a turnover on downs and then punched 2 in a row, got the running game going. So
yeah, we got all those short fields to begin with. We never got a chance to see the offense truly manifest itself.
And obviously the weather plays a little bit of a factor here as well. And coming over here to Evergreen is never an easy place to play. Just you got about a 45-minute drive on the bus, and some guys taking naps on the way over here and everything else.
Yeah.
It can play a factor for sure.
Well, and let's just translate that on over into that's Liberty moves to 8-0. We've got Delta this coming week, and then Wauseon, the last game of the year. Obviously, the interest may perk up a little bit, Delta being a close rival, and then Wauseon being a credible football team. But, before we jump on this postseason bandwagon and kind of play the guessing game about, last year we made it to the Final Four. We're a long way away from that yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of football to be played, certainly. And, Delta's going to come next week, and they're going to be ready to go with an opportunity to knock us off. And obviously Wauseon that following week. So we got 2 more at home to finish the season off, which will be great. And we're going to have to keep bringing it every single week.
Hey, and while we're collecting some of our stats, I want to talk a little bit about our schedule. Again, Saturday, tomorrow's game with Evergreen is canceled. We will have soccer. We are also going on the road with our girls volleyball team to Patrick Henry on Tuesday, as well as we have soccer at the stadium on Tuesday. But our girls have the ability to outright win the NWOAL title the first time since 2004, Spike.
Wow, 20 years ago.
Yes, sir. So they are currently in a position they'll get at least a share of the title. But win at Patrick Henry will be an outright win. We'll be on the air at about 7:30 or about between 7 and 7:15, I guess. I don't know. We never know with volleyball the way it goes. But Karen Savage, Carly Zeider will be on the call, and we'll do that. So we're collecting some stats here, so we're filling some time. Again, our sponsors always helping us out. 3-Chord, sign it, sew it, screen it, promote it. Davis Farm Services, that Liberty Center, family-owned business with facilities in Liberty Center and Delta. Over 50 years helping the farmers in the area out. Swanton Welding, metal fabrication extraordinaire since 1956. Pam and Dick Leatherman, longtime supporters of the Liberties of the Tiger Sports Live. Pisanello's Pizza, sharing her gang up there, doing a great job. Liberty Center, great buffet. The Gerald Grain Centers, that farmer-owned cooperative, 9 locations, one of them right in downtown Liberty Center. Meyer Badenhop Insurance, since 1933, Henry County, been the home of the Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency. Offices to service all of your insurance needs. STN Design Group, your home for custom screen printing and embroidery. And last but not least, before we get into the KK Collision post-game show, Mr. Kyle Kern, his group had 27 years of automotive excellence in the Liberty Center area. So, Jigs, before we get into the post-game show, what do you got on some stats there?
Yeah, total yards tonight, Liberty Center 316, 250 yards rushing. Evergreen 86 total yards, 74 yards on the ground. They broke that late run. I think without that, we might be pretty close to that negative yardage on the ground for Evergreen. Rushing for Liberty Center, Colton Cruz, 9 attempts for 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trent Cruz, 9 for 64. Colton Chambers, 4 for 37, 2 touchdowns. And Waylon Rentz, 2 carries, 34 yards and a touch. I don't got a whole lot of the tackle breakdown for you here. But, yeah.
Yeah, Liberty Center actually has been averaging about 420 yards total offense. So tonight they were down 100.
Yep.
And some of that credit has to be given to Evergreen on a spirited.
Only 300 and some yards of offense. How dare they?
I think another thing to consider is in the first half, the short fields. I mean, we were having to drive the ball 20 yards for a touchdown, I think, on the one punt and maybe 35 in the other. So that plays into it as well. Yeah. The yardage may not seem as big as what it might be considering the score, but Evergreen did challenge us up front a little bit tonight, and they hung around and competed.
Yeah, well, it's not every game can be completely perfect. Not every game can set new records and higher standards. You have to get through the year, and it's a long one, and we've got a long way to go if things continue to gel and come together. And I think 2 super indicators will be the next 2 weeks.
All right, guys, let's get our KK Collision post-game show started. Guys, we've got to pick some players here. And let's first talk about the offensive player of the game. And Spike, Jigs, I'm going to get who you got.
Okay. Colton Chambers sticks out a little bit to me tonight. All those inside reverse runs. He was very effective, had 2 touchdowns, ran the ball really well. Obviously our line was very dominant as well. It's kind of hard to pick a certain offensive lineman sometimes. So, I think if I'm picking one, I'll probably go with Colton Chambers.
All right. I'm going to throw a unique name out, and I'm going to say Aiden Talent.
Okay.
How many good catches did Aiden Talent make tonight? Did he score touchdowns? No, but I'll tell you what. He made some ESPN 2 feet in bounds catches tonight, and he had a couple series where he just dominated the receiving yards. So I'm going to throw his name out there.
Yeah, he did. He had a couple nice catches there in that one drive. They went to him several times.
Are you getting any input from Kyle?
I am not.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I tell you what, I was impressed with both those players. I think Colton Chambers is kind of the unknown factor with all the hoopla that surrounds the Cruz boys, and then Cam Colley on his big offensive year this year. This is a toughie because I could easily go with Aiden or Colton Chambers. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm going to take the lazy man's way out. And why not? I'm going to vote for both of them. That makes it a 2-2 tie. And Scott Barrett, you're not here to change it. We're going to give it to both of them.
I like it.
All right.
Now switching over to the defensive player of the game. And I'm going to go first on this one. And I think, you could probably pick 2 or 3, I'm going to say, defensive linemen. But I'm going to go with Xander Zeider. Xander Zeider had made numerous plays, maybe more than the other linemen, and they all made great plays. But Xander Zeider was in there, pressured, tackle for loss, sack, piled up things, made a couple great swim moves coming off the edge. To me, Xander Zeider's your defensive player of the game.
I'll go ahead then, Spike. The D-line dominated this game. I mean, Bachman was in the backfield. Seth Navarro was in the backfield. Xander was in the backfield. Another player that sticks out, Landon Cruz, with a nice interception there earlier in the game on the second drive, I believe. But no, Mark, I agree. Xander was not only, he did have some tackles, but he was pressuring the quarterback. He had some big hits on the quarterback, and I think he may have had a sack or 2 as well. So I'm good with Xander Zeider on that. He had a heck of a game tonight.
All right, Spike, what do you got there?
I can only further enhance you guys' picks. Bachman had a big game.
Yep.
Seth, you mentioned that already, Captain. But Xander Zeider has been our quote-unquote honorable mention kind of guy all year, every game. So, to me, hands down, no buts about it, Xander Zeider. I'll go along.
All right. And now, last but not least, the unit of the game. And Spike, this is you, baby.
Well, I had a little halftime opinionation here that I asked to get, and I'm going to go along with this one. Defensive line, we just got done talking about how magnificent they were with all the minus yardage, changed by one 78-yard touchdown run. But the minus yardage that Liberty created tonight to an Evergreen team that was not inept. They played some football on defense, so it wasn't like they were little sisters of the poor. So I would say the defensive line, hands down, gets dominant. Yep, they get our unit of the game, and that
they are the kings of the wings, baby. Sattler Meats bringing in the chicken wings for the unit of the game.
Yep, 10 pounds of chicken wings, and I'm telling you, on Tuesday nights after practice, these guys are whipped, bushed, and sprinted till they had nothing left. But they can handle the wings.
I bet they got stuff left to get the chicken wings. So, all right, once again, finish up our KK Collision post-game show. The offensive players of the game, Colton Chambers and Aiden Talent. The defensive player, Mr. Xander Zeider. And the unit of the game, the kings of the wings, the defensive line. All right, Spiker, why don't you take us home and we'll get out of here.
So on that note, the Tigers moved to 8-0. They've got the leagues to go. They've got 2 games left. Tigers solidly in first place. Archbold's still lingering. They had a 14-7.
14-7. I haven't got an update yet.
Yep.
PH wins tonight. They're next week, Archbold and PH play, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, boy, that'll be a showdown.
PH with only 1 league loss. Mm-hmm. Archbold with only 1 league loss. They could collide next week. Going into it both with only one win. Or one loss, I'm sorry.
All right, so week 8, season number 8, you might say. Every game's a season according to the coaching staff. Well, on that note, Liberty Center, with a 48-6 convincing win, they go to 8-0, and next week they've got the Panthers at home. So on that, everybody, it's good night and good Tiger sports.